or was there any pressure to Jamaica to engage? I know you said it was an American request, but was there any pressure in addition to the request for any other reason on us? Did they threaten to cut visas, or did they allow us to maybe have a revamp or reconsideration of processing of immigrant visas or something?
You're a long-standing journalist and an intelligent one, and no international discussion proceeds along those lines. We're not at war with anybody. Iran and America at war, they discuss Strait of Hormuz and bombing.
Good night, y'all. How you doing?
That's a war. We are two friendly countries. We have bilateral discussion daily. That kind of discussion doesn't take place in a healthy bilateral relationship.
Reuters had this question: where from will the TCNs come?
No, there are people who have been found in the United States illegally.
What national? Do you have a cutoff on certain kinds of nationals or all kinds of nationals?
One of the operational features for some of the Caribbean islands, just smaller than what is that they are Caribbean nationals, but initial discussion will.
So you hear what him say? You hear what him say? Deep divers, you heard what he said? He said, she's smart, she will know better than that. Don't ask the man no foolishness. That's what I'm saying, you know. The man say they weren't coerced. They're not in a war. So what she talk about? So, why Nationwide feels the need to put out this? Deep divers. Why Nationwide feels the need to put out that?
Listen to the argument, my side. Listen to the argument.
Let me find it in my phone and read it.
Ishmael shot them in their foot to them.
U.S. sources threat to revoke visas of ordinary Jamaican prompted government to sign TCN deal. The man just say, listen up, the man just say, nothing of the sort.
Nothing of the sort.
Reporter asked her explicitly.
Explicitly.
The reporter asked him explicitly.
Sure did.
And him say, you're smarter than that. Nationwide. Why would you put out something like this? I think they need to reconsider being on your side, you know. I think they really need to reconsider. I think they really need to reconsider the side that they're on.
Nationwide is on your side.
Ishmael,
You're ashamed of yourself.
Ishmael,
are you embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
Nationwide says it understands that the threat of random Jamaican citizens having their non-immigrant visas revoked by the U.S. authorities gave impetus to the decision by Holness administration to agree. And that Nationwide say, make we listen to where. What's her name again? I can't remember her name. And the minister say.
Hi, I'm Karen, new analyst.
Karen.
Like and share the live,
Mitchell?
guys. Thank you so
That's
much.
me.
Good night.
Go
Good
for it.
night. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Oh,
what is
just so you know, the team runs pretty
advertisement?
fast up there. Very.
What's her name again? I can't remember her name. And the minister say. Why them a tell lie? Who is lying? Escobar, what one? With their Lady Escobar. Why are they lying? Let us play it again.
To house each one of the TCNs is, let us say, additionally, there will be some cushion in terms of revenue that we will be getting as a society, and also what will we be getting in addition to this money in return for doing this to help out our ally?
Good question.
First of all, the initial bill will be paid by IOM, so there's no revenue to come to Jamaica. The idea of what we get out of it is not a relevant question. America, I said, is one of our strongest bilateral partners. We have multiplicity of agreements, understandings, exchanges in all areas. It's not something you discuss. We do this today, we do that for you tomorrow. That's not a practice of any healthy bilateral relationship.
Okay.
Is there any, or was there any pressure to Jamaica to engage? I know you said it was an American request, but was there any pressure in addition to the request for any other reason on us? Did they threaten to cut visas, or did they allow us to maybe have a revamp or reconsideration of processing of immigrant visas or something?
You're a long-standing journalist and an intelligent one, and no international discussion proceeds along those lines. We're not at war with anybody. Iran and America at war, they discuss Strait of Hormuz and bombing. about his, but that's a war. We are two friendly countries. We have bilateral discussion daily.
Hey, Rena, what's up, my darling?
Take place in a
Good night.
bilateral relationship.
Wow.
Roy just had this question. Where from will the TCNs come?
There are people who have been found in the United States illegally. And we
What
don't know.
national? Do you have a cutoff
No.
on certain kinds of nationals or all kinds?
Uno ear.
We heard.
You're smarter than that, Kingdom Ambassador. Thank you. How you doing? I'm well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kingdom Ambassador. Thank you so much. Big up yourself, Kingdom Ambassador. Your ear, where? I can't remember her name. So for the life of me, I cannot remember her name. What is the name of that? She does 18 degrees north.
Yeah.
Zara Burton. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Zara Burton.
Yeah.
But nationwide tell we say they were prompted because US threatened we. Who is lying?
Somebody lying, bro.
Who is lying? But watch this now.
Somebody's lying.
Marx never signed no deportee deal. Marx signed skilled worker deal. Skilled worker from where? Dana Morris Dixon. Skilled worker from where?
No, so there's a mix-up, right? Cause that, you know, you might catch them in a damn lie. So she has said, Audrey Marks, in the newspaper, they put this in and said, Audrey Marks was looking for skilled workers, right? And if you notice, my lady there asked them, did you guys get any pressure? Were you pressured into this deal? No. She's supposed to know better. And you see, that's why you know say them lying, you know, because it is well documented that the United States does pressure other countries. Sanctions for your actions. Listen, Donald Trump play hardball. Man a businessman. You see me? So instead of them a lie, just tell the truth, no brother. You understand? Them just expose themselves. But let's continue.
Dana Morris Dixon. From where? I can't from the US of A. You think $100 a week can mind them people in USA? Nobody in USA makes $100 a week. Nobody in the USA makes $100 a week, Dana Morris Dixon.
Unless they now work.
Anybody will make $100 a week and lives in the USA, call me now. See me phone, yeah? The number is on the screen. Call me. Call me. Call me. Oh, in the US of A, you know Dana Morris Dixon make $100 a week. We go further. You say that never sign. And that you say no. But on March 5, before we go March 5, let us play this clip between the minister again and another journalist. Big time journalist, this is one you know we know. Look at the exchange. Focus on the exchange, deep divers.
Until that is done, we can't receive any.
Morning, Kimon Francis from the Gleaner. Just to clarify, the Gleaner at no point reported that 10,000 TCN illegal immigrants were coming to Jamaica.
Not TCN,
At no point.
deportees.
At no point. Question.
No,
and
don't confuse those, you know. 10,000 deportees is different from 10,000 TCNs. They are
The
not
MOU
deportees, they are not even detained, they are being transitioned to Jamaica.
I'm not sure if it's playing well. Let me try again.
Until that is done, we can't receive any.
Morning, Kimon Francis from the Gleaner. Just to clarify, the Gleaner at no point reported that.
All right, so the guys on BOLO TBV, you know, I'm on the computer. I'm going to transition to the computer, you know, later down in the live. But I need you guys to know how to hit the like button when I use the phone. So all you have to do is this. Just double tap the screen just like this. Right in the middle of the screen, right where you see my nose, right here. Just take your finger and double tap it. That's how you hit the like button when you're using your phone. If you're using your computer, and I'm using this version of live stream, you know, the like button is the same place. Hi Jada. Jada say I'm working and listening, but I can call for the resignation of Moped. She cannot be the Minister of Education and Information, and the woman can't answer a question truthfully. She can't clearly communicate. Me pissed off dearly. Hey, listen to me, man. These people vindicate me. Sometimes, you know, people say me might have said me hard upon them, but why are they getting paid so much freaking money? For what? For what? And you don't have, you know, I don't have trust in you. Why are you getting paid so much money? The highest job of the land is to represent the people. Outside of serving God as a man and woman of God, right below that is the office of service of the people in the capacity of politics and other capacities down the line. And I cannot trust you. Andrew only said to us, people are being trapped. Then Dana Morris Dixie come and said, let me be clear, nobody is being trapped. There is a track record, pun intended, of these people we take with the idiot. Yeah, I mean, no, I can't. No, them, I could never vote for these people. That's why I'm saying I could never be a Labourite and some people vex. You know, when no me, I could never be a Labourite. Fully done.
10,000 TCN illegal immigrants were coming to Jamaica.
TCN,
At no point.
deportees.
At no point. Question.
No, don't confuse it, you know. 10,000 deportees is different from 10,000 TCNs.
All right. I'm not sure what's happening.
You know what I like? I like how the young lady from the Gleaner is standing on business. And I hope that other members of the fifth estate or fourth estate, whatever they call them, I hope that they follow suit. I really do.
Exactly. But let us go further.
Yes.
Deep divers, let us go further. There was
Upcoming.
a big time summit.
Upcoming.
Let me tell you the name of the summit. Let me tell you the name of the summit, deep divers. The name of the summit is Counter Cartel Conference, the America's Counter Cartel Conference. Look here, deep divers. Look here, deep divers. Where that say to you? Deep divers, where that say to you? Deep divers.
Something is very wrong with YouTube right now. My YouTube, as a matter of fact. I don't understand why I'm looking at my YouTube, but it's not showing me that I'm live. Alright, so let me show you guys something, right? And this is for BOLO VNR 2.0. You see?
Lies will be exposed. That's all. And
Alright.
anyone who takes
See the live here, right?
know why they take
See the live here now. You see this live? I cannot locate it on my it's like they're messing with my page. Somebody is messing with my page. It's like them try hacking on my page, Virgin. I am not even able to edit my live. I am so afraid to use it because, see, alright. See? I'm supposed to see this live pop up right here, so. Something is very wrong. I don't like this, and I want to fix it. I really want to fix it because this should not be happening. I want to edit and put up my thumbnail, you know? And it
I want you to look at
give me
it.
problems.
You see Jamaica name in that, deep divers? Let me read it for you. Deep divers, let me read it for you. People not lie. Because we will debunk the lies easily. It's a key details and developments from the conference include coalition and purpose. The summit united defense and security ministers from across the Caribbean, Central America, and South America to coordinate military efforts, intelligence sharing,
right,
and joint operation against cartel trafficking and deadly drugs, drug-like things. Joint security declaration, regional impact. That was Jamaica focus. The forum, The conference also served as a major forum for bilateral negotiations. Bilateral negotiations. You hear that? For instance, discussions during the summit paved the way for proposed arrangement, such as a heavily debated diplomatic proposal to have Jamaica receive third-party national from the United States of America. And when me walk a day, and when me walk.
Wow. So, I mean, hey, the man did a great job. He exposed them, ladies and gentlemen. This was from March. And it's very specific, as he just read. The conference also served as a major forum for bilateral negotiations. For instance, discussion during the summit paved the way for proposed arrangements such as a heavily debated diplomatic proposal to have Jamaica specifically receive third country nationals from the United States. So that's what they lied to us. This was from March. They didn't even let us know, ladies and gentlemen. These people are cold-blooded, deceptive. Hey, yo, I'm at a loss for words.
Give me a baklava.
I'm at a loss for words.
Say, I never she do it.
Oh, them say I never she. Exactly.
Let me show you something again. Deep divers. We go in deep.
Yo, Ishmael went. Yeah,
when was this picture taken?
Yeah, he did
it
that.
It was taken 18th National.
He did that.
18 National came together for the inaugural America Counter Cartel Conference at the United States South Command Headquarters in Doral, Florida. Doral, rather. On March 5. March 5, deep divers. March 5, 2026. You see the whole of them? Look on all of them. Make we go deeper. Make we go deeper. Make we go deeper.
Can baby? Can baby? Can.
What kind of advertisement is that? Oh, that's some Arabic stuff. Okay. Can baby?
Jamaica looking at the picture and tell me who you see. Looking at the picture and tell me who you see. Who you see.
Hold on. Oh, she's right in the middle? No. Yo, she's right in the middle. A beer man there. Well, a couple women there over there, so two white women there right there, so. But like 90% of these are men. Damn. And she was in the middle? Come on, bro. Why they lie so much, man?
See,
oh, my.
in the picture.
What's up,
Jamaica?
calligraphy? Oh, my God.
You see. Tell me who you see.
Oh, come on, bro. Come
Tell
on.
me who you see.
It's Audrey Marks, literally.
Tell me who you see in the picture, Jamaica.
It's literally Audrey Marks.
They never know say we go zoom up the picture.
No, they never know.
They never know say we go zoom up the picture.
Yo.
They never know say we go zoom up the picture. And she stand up in the front of the line, you know. She stand up at the front. Big leagues. Big breeze in a them town. Audrey in a them town. Big leagues, Audrey in a them town. Big leagues.
No singing for you, Ishmael.
Big leagues, Audrey in a them town.
No singing. Time out, bro. No
I
singing.
history this, man. I history
Time
this.
out, time out,
Something
time
right
out,
now.
Ishmael. Hey, yo, you gotta chill, bro.
Something
time
alright.
out, time out, man. You gotta chill.
Something all right there.
Yo, somebody tell Ishmael, time out with the singing.
But then, deep divers.
no
What
singing.
is her portfolio? She's a minister of government, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
What is her portfolio, Jamaica? Let me look. Me look in.
Sure.
She's the former ambassador of Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
What is her portfolio? No. She is the minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister.
So the Prime Minister should go represent.
Let me tell you, official, JIS.
And the Prime Minister should
We
go
not ask Google. We not ask Google at JIS level. It take long to load though. I want to go with the internet today. Come on, man, internet.
Why? Something going with the internet for you.
All right, let me come off and go back on. We diving deep tonight. What it take long? It now load. Lord have mercy, it now load. All right, here what? Me know, so let me tell you now. Thank you so much, CC Unstoppable. Thank you so much. Me know, so let me tell you now.
I wonder where.
Me know. She is the MP for Northeast Manchester. But she's also the Minister of Efficiency, Innovation and Digital Transformation. Where she had one counter-terrorism summit.
Yeah, that kind of...
What is she doing
She
at a
represent...
counter-terrorism summit?
She represent...
The security minister for there, so
yes, but he
why
can't
him
fly.
never did it?
He can't fly.
What is she doing at
He
a
can't fly,
counter-terrorism summit? Is
He
it
can't
because she
fly.
was the former ambassador?
He can't fly, bro. He can't fly
How efficiency
America.
and innovation turn counter-terrorism? I don't know, remember? I don't know. I don't know. Help me out. Oh, person says sleep Chan can't travel. Mr. Chan, you can't travel for
You
true.
can't travel, bro.
Mr. Chan, want your passport, it lasts.
Nah, you
Are
can't
you straight?
travel.
I used to this.
Nice. But let me come out, come see this. Nah, like, I fear it's just going to sit me never there, so. Never been seeing this yet. I tell you before.
We never see this yet.
Yo,
Minister, you can't travel.
Ishmael go and read himself. Ishmael doing things.
Leave that, but the passport lasts.
Sorry.
But you can't go back a Pika, man. You can't go back a Pika, you know, and get a new one. Just be a Feet Express, man. Somebody say, America revoked this visa. I don't know. I will check it out. I don't know. But see her there. So how she say, Dancy, me didn't know, man. Big up as Dancy.
Sometimes I have to play a fool to get your wise.
Because mad me. Because that's not mad me, man. Because that's not mad me. But Jamaica, how do you know Maris Dixon say?
Wrong, yo.
She never go sign
I
nothing.
can't even use my computer to edit my life.
She never go sign nothing.
Can't believe this.
So she never go sign nothing. Help me to understand this note there, arm. Help me to understand this note there, arm. Audrey Marks. Ambassador Audrey Marks. Let me speak properly. Let me speak like the people from Norbrook in Upper St. Andrew. Let me speak like the people from Upper St. Andrew. Ambassador Marks. I saw this, and it said, Ambassador Marks, it said, a diplomatic note from the United States Embassy in Kingston stated that the cabinet minister proposed a controversial deal to Washington that would have had Jamaica receive up to 10,000 third country nationals. The note sent to Jamaican government said that former ambassador to the U.S., the minister with our portfolio, in the office of the Prime Minister with the responsibility for efficiency, innovation, digital transformation, your name made the proposal. It's your name. Let me show the picture again. Ambassador Marks, I think I need to drink some water.
Give me back your water. My vitamin in my bag.
Yo, what is going on with the water thing?
Get back your water, me grab a vitamin. Let's have a talk, get back your water.
Yo, anybody can tell me the joke about the water? I don't understand the joke about the water.
Let me understand.
It's funny to me though, but I don't understand it.
Why them feel like say it's either way brain little and them brain big. Why is it the diplomatic note named her? The diplomatic note Jamaica named her. The picture said June 5, 2026. The diplomatic note
June
that I would have
5?
seen, sir,
Hold on.
said the same.
June 5? No, that the time they ship the come out here. Jamaica, is it possible that the persons that they are, Alex, what's up? Is it possible that the persons that they're supposed to send here is here already? June 5? Nah, that can't be a coincidence. June 5. Oh, that is some crazy stuff, bro. Hold on, let me circle up, cause we not even. I want up right now. No, me say me have to come listen back that part yeah, with Ishmael. But June 5. Da da dee. Da da da.
Why them I say she go around Jamaica? Make we show it again. Audrey Marks was involved in bid to contract skilled workers. All right, and that you say. And that you say.
No, the light was off. My light was off until the next morning. In some places, what's up, Joanne? In some places, the light was off for like 4 or 5 hours. Yeah, so it was a blackout for a good while. It was a blackout. I don't know the exact time for other places. I would have to go back and like, you know, peruse. No, well, I can't say. But for me, I got up in the morning, I was doing a live, and like in the morning, maybe around 10, the light came back. So it was for a good look a while, Jada, for me. But the other places in Jamaica, the news reports can tell you, yo, it hot him. Yo, listen. As soon as me turn off the fan, me I sweat. Yo, if the fan too loud, me make me know. Me go turn on the other one over this and turn off this. But yo, as me turn off the fan, me I sweat. No man, this not safe. This not safe. Me I tell that straight. This not safe. All right, so yeah. Why can't I see the other live that I have right here? So it's like them give me a whole new live, but they're not recognizing the live that I'm on right now. I can't. I don't know. That's pretty bonkers. You know? It's pretty wild. That is pretty wild, man. Oh, the video is editing. Oh, alright. What I'm gonna do is this, because me kinda not like this. I can't say I really hate this. I really hate that I am not seeing. Oh, so this is a totally different live. But I can't see the one. Oh my God. Alright, so guys on BOLO VNR 2.0, if I go live on my other live, will you guys come over to that live? Because that live is, you know, it has the thumbnail, it's titled properly, and I don't like what this is. It's almost like somebody hijacked my live. And I can't edit it. I cannot. I'm supposed to be able to see the live while I'm live, and I'm not seeing it. I can't, you know. I don't have any managerial control to some extent. So will you guys come over to the next live? Is that too much? And BOLO TBV, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to BOLO VNR 2.0. All right. So can you guys do that for me? If yes, just put a 1 in the chat. Let me know.
Further, So why is Andrew traveling today? Ambassador Marks and Dana Morris Dixon. Did you know that the Prime Minister, deep divers, did you know?
So, yeah, you know, Ishmael clearly established that they lied. Clearly established that Arjun Marks was the one that initiated the conversation. And she knew what time it was. She was the one. She did all of that. She was the one. You understand? Yeah.
All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
I just the blessings. And guys, all right. So I'm going to start the other live. I'm gonna come over. All right. Yeah, man, that live. I don't know what I want with this, but something ain't right, bro. Something ain't right. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Alright, see it now? Fully active. See it there now? What is? Why the screen looks so now, God? Oh my God, no. Why it looks so? Why it looks so, Father God? It's not members only. Members only, what? Kind of members only? What is going on, bro? What is going on, bro? Members only? What? Oh, it's public. Oh, I'll be like, what the hell is going on? Members only? No, sir. It's supposed to be public. Alright, something is going on with YouTube. I don't know what it is. It's still doing it. Why is there a draft live stream? What? Alright. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna move on. Yeah, I can't be bothered, bro. I cannot be bothered. Alright? Anyway, let's get into this, man. Let's get into this.
Principal Director of the National Integrity Action, NIA, Dr. Gavin Myers, believes the Prime Minister, in his own judgment, has the right to appoint anyone he wants to the Cabinet. However, he notes that the Prime Minister will make the final decision with great caution.
The Prime Minister, in his own judgment and acting without anybody else, has the right to appoint anybody he feels like to the Cabinet. He has that right. The Prime Minister, however, should know that when he does it with the same level of scrutiny that everyone else will have. But even more, the Prime Minister understands that when he does it, and I'm very certain that he will act because he knows that his political capital and the political capital of his government rests upon how he acts when there's instances or when there's evidence or when there's allegations, concrete allegations of corruption or misappropriation.
Dr. Myers says it would be unwise for Minister Wheatley to weaponize his humble beginnings.
People are watching and people are wondering what on. Because really and truly, we want things to get done. If I could just squeeze in one point though, I am a Jamaican and I'm from very humble beginnings and humble means. I would not want Minister Wheatley to use the fact that he's from humble beginnings to make this out to be a witch hunt against him or something that he is being singled out because he's from humble beginnings. I want Minister Wheatley to accept that he is being singled out because he's a minister and there are rules around how he is to act, how he is to report on things, And that is a critical point.
According to the tabled Integrity Commission investigation report, Dr. Wheatley acquired assets disproportionate to his lawful earnings by approximately 164 million Jamaican dollars between 2013 and 2022 and was unable to provide a satisfactory explanation when formally required to do so. Dr. Myers believes that as a former councillor, deputy mayor, electoral candidate, and now member of parliament, Minister Wheatley should have known what to do from the start and followed through with the correct protocols.
Minister Wheatley cannot use mistake or whatever it is to speak to his omission. This is something that, without any other evidence, is deliberate. And he knows what happens and he knows what should be done. So even more, what we're saying is that he breached, even if he had a very innocuous reason for not declaring it, he breached. And he needs to understand that as a minister, people are expecting him to be above reproach.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
Oh my God. Mic check? Okay, good. Let me see the camera now. Camera still not work. So now we have an issue with the camera. My goodness. When it rains, it pours, Jamaica. Them wire always have some shots in them. Oh my God, Lord have mercy. Alright, look like come on a while ago. Just need to circle it down. Alright, awesome. Ah, what the hell? What the hell was that? Ah. Yeah, guys, come on in, man. Come over here, ladies and gentlemen. He must mean March 5th. That's what he said in the meeting. I don't know. Let me put the speaker right here, so because, you know, don't want them drop off of this or cause any issues with entanglement. Don't want any entanglement, ladies and gentlemen. No entanglement around here. All right. Awesome. You guys should hear it very, very clearly. Hey, Jada. Jada is back. Jada is back. All right. So. Oh my God. What? No man, something wrong. Yo, only give me a second there, man. Something wrong with YouTube. Something wrong with YouTube. It look like YouTube need an update or something. What the hell is going on? Yo, me say the phone is a spaz out. What this, man? Bro, the phone is passing out right now, fam. Really slowing me up. What a thing. Yeah, man, YouTube are doing most right now. I'm not telling no lie. Alright, so it is updated. I don't know why it just kicked me off a while ago. You just slapped me off a while ago, my side. And it's not my fault. I apologize for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. I truly apologize. I feel one way, like, you know? Oh, my God. Sorry about this. All right, let me see if I can gather myself now. See if we can gather myself now and get through this. As I want to cover a lot tonight. Or as much as I can. Alright, so I saw 3 things. I think I had shared them on my Facebook. Yeah, 3 things I want to highlight. Nah, I'm not gonna go there yet. Yes, this and there's 2 things. These people. When is this? This is Instagram. This is Instagram. This picture definitely need to have that there. This is an excellent one. TVJ News. Is it TVJ News? Okay, no, it's not that one. Yo, Instagram is a weird place, bro. Instagram is a weird place. That's why I barely come over here. It's all types of madness. You go in the search bar. The search bar will, the search bar is gonna be all over the place. Like stuff that you're not even searching for pops up. But they know what they're doing. Okay, all right, wonderful. Here we go. Thank you. All right. Oh, yes. This is it.
Hi everyone, Kelisha Williams here. Thank you so much for watching my documentary, Brewed by the Heat on TVJ. Hope you enjoyed it, so let me know what you think. Also, catch the rebroadcast on Monday at 3 p.m.
All right, cool. All right, big up yourself. All right, these 2 things. I need to document all of this. All right, because we're not stop. Like, the call for this man's resignation is too important. Way too important. All right? All right, so here, ladies and gentlemen, it's your brother Bolo VNR, and we're in this space again. Once more. Yeah. I just realized something. Last night I had my light, man. I don't have my light. Make sure we clean tonight. Best presentation for the people. Yes. Hope this light holds up now. I really do. Hold up for me, okay? I need you. Oh, the fan of that load. Now. Yes, my side. No, we back. Yes, sir. Now we straight, ladies and gentlemen. Turn off this for sure. That one is enough. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Let's get into this. Wheatley must resign. It's not only Wheatley. The FLA, multiple people need to resign in the FLA. The FID director needs to resign. Darrell Vaz needs to resign. Andrew Holness needs to resign. Marissa Dalrymple needs to resign. Quite a number of people in Jamaica Labour Party. Okay, but we're focused on Wheatley. All right, he's fresh. As you can see on the poster there, ladies and gentlemen, these are the facts. Illicit enrichment findings. The Integrity Commission found $164 million unexplained. Four recommended charges. History of mismanagement. This follows the previous 2018 resignation over the Petrojam corruption scandal, the abuse of public trust. No more corruption in cabinet. Stand up for accountability. Share this message. Demand better. We deserve better. Right, Jada? Right, Money B? Right, my side? We deserve better. We deserve better. All right? Yeah, man. That is it. Now, let's listen to the Dr. Gavin Myers. I think this was a profound conversation. I'm going to let it play and then I'm going to come back and give my commentary or observation of some key things that I thought he put out.
Principal Director of the National Integrity Action, NIA, Dr. Gavin Myers, believes the Prime Minister in his own judgment has the right to appoint anyone he wants to the cabinet. However, he notes that the Prime Minister will make the final decision with great caution.
The Prime Minister in his own judgment and acting without anybody else has the right to appoint anybody he feels like to the cabinet. He has that right. The Prime Minister, however, should know that when he does it with the same level of scrutiny that everyone else will have. But even more, the Prime Minister understands that when he does it, and I'm very certain that he will act because he knows that his political capital and the political capital of his government rests upon how he acts when there's instances or when there's evidence or when there's allegations, concrete allegations of corruption or misappropriation.
Dr. Myers says it would be unwise for Minister Wheatley to weaponize his humble beginnings.
People are...
All right, so political capital, what does that mean? Well, what is important to the people? What are they looking for? What are the things you campaigned on that you would stand for? You understand? He was at the debate, you know, and he claimed that, I actually, you know, we stand against corruption. All of this good stuff he said in the debate with Mark Golding. So now you got to put your money where your mouth is, because here comes an opportunity for you to show us and not tell us. So are we going to see Monday come and Andrew Wheatley is still a part of the government and he hasn't resigned? You guys had a meeting at Belmont Road. We haven't heard anything come out of that meeting. Right? Guys, like and share up this video. Right? So let's hear more.
Would be unwise for Minister Wheatley to weaponize his humble beginnings.
People are watching and people wonder what one. Because really and truly, we want things to get done. If I could just squeeze in one point though, I am a Jamaican and I'm from very humble beginnings and humble means. I would not want Minister Wheatley to use the fact that he's from humble beginnings to make this out to be a witch hunt against him or something that he is being singled out because he's from humble beginnings. I want Minister Wheatley to accept that he is being singled out because he's a minister and there are rules around how he is to act, how he is to report on things, and that is a critical point.
According to the table,
I love that because I said the same thing, you know. I said the same thing when he, with his speech that he gave. I said, why is he talking about where he came from? It's almost as if he's reading from a script, innit? And he's reading from the same script as Andrew Holness, as far as I'm concerned, right? Because listen, let's go to it quickly, right here. Let's go to it quickly right here, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Yes.
Let me just use this opportunity to indicate to colleagues here that I have every intention of protecting my reputation. Because thank you very much, colleagues. Let me just use this opportunity to indicate to colleagues here that I have every intention of protecting my reputation. It is a matter that somewhere or the other can affect all of us as members in this house.
No, I think he wanted to say all of the members of the Jamaica Labour Party, not the PNP, thinking about it now. But let's continue.
And so my team of lawyers will bring to the fore, to the public, that I am innocent, that the conclusions are inaccurate, and that we have a responsibility to encourage anyone from any humble beginning or otherwise who wish to serve his or her country, not to be afraid because of persons who want to defame them.
So, Andrea, how you doing? Good night, love. Andrea Burke in the building. So right there, he went into victimhood. All right? He needs a team of accountants, not lawyers. Right there, he went to victimhood, and they stopped him. Right? They stopped him in the parliament right there because it was grossly inappropriate. No, he had that same bravado. He didn't have that same bravado and that confidence when the media wanted to speak to him. Yeah.
How he is to act, how he is to report on things, and that is the critical point.
According to the tabled Integrity Commission investigation report, Dr. Wheatley acquired assets disproportionate to his lawful earnings by approximately 164 million Jamaican dollars between 2013 and 2022, and was unable to provide a satisfactory explanation when formally required to do so. Dr. Miles believes that as a former councillor, deputy mayor, electoral candidate, and now member of parliament, Minister Wheatley should have from the start and followed through with the correct protocol. That as a former councillor, deputy mayor, electoral candidate, and now member of parliament, Minister Wheatley should have known what to do from the start and followed through with the correct protocols.
Minister Wheatley cannot use mistake or whatever it is to speak to his omission. This is something that, without any other evidence, is deliberate. And he knows what happens and he knows what should be done. So even more, what we're saying is that he breached, even if he had a very innocuous reason for not declaring it, he breached. And he needs to understand that as a minister, people are expecting him to be above reproach.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
And I appreciate the good doctor, Dr. Gavin Myers. He put everything into a knot. He's the new National Integrity NIA director. You know, when the wonderful, what's her name again? When she left, you know, I was like, man, she's leaving. Who's gonna come and be the director now? But this man, every single time he came, knows what he's talking about. He's very direct. He's very strong with it, and I appreciate that. Because that's the job that he's supposed to do. You understand? All right. Let's go to Instagram now, to these particular posts.
First up this evening, the opposition People's National Party is calling on the Prime Minister to remove Dr. Andrew Wheatley from the cabinet after recommendations for the MP to be charged with illicit enrichment.
Additionally, the opposition is questioning whether the Prime Minister was notified of the Integrity Commission's investigation before Dr. Wheatley was appointed to the cabinet.
Jamila Maitland has this report.
From providing false information to the Integrity Commission, to not readily providing information, to not being able to provide supporting information. These are just a few of the patterns outlined in the IC's report that recommended charges be brought against Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of the Prime Minister with responsibility for science, technology, and special projects, Dr. Andrew Wheatley, for illicit enrichment. Opposition spokesman on finance, Julian Robinson.
Anyone who operates like this, whose own credibility cannot stand the test of scrutiny, should not be a member of a cabinet. And so, in closing, we are reiterating our call for Dr. Wheatley to be removed immediately from the cabinet.
The report, which was tabled in the Parliament on Wednesday, outlined that Dr. Andrew Wheatley acquired $164 million between 2013 and 2022. However, there was insufficient evidence that it was supported through lawful means. Now, the Integrity Commission said it wrote to Dr. Andrew Wheatley in January 2024 with an illicit enrichment notice, informing him that he was being investigated. Now, according to the opposition, that was long before the general election and even longer before Dr. Andrew Wheatley was appointed to the cabinet by the Prime Minister. Now, the opposition questioned, did Dr. Andrew Wheatley inform the Prime Minister that he was being investigated?
Did he hide that information from the Prime Minister? If he hid that information from the Prime Minister, it's more reason for the Prime Minister to remove him from the cabinet now. If he shared that information with the Prime Minister, why did the Prime Minister appoint him, notwithstanding that knowledge? The Prime Minister has an obligation to not only dismiss him, but to tell the public if he knew that he was under investigation.
But this is not the first time that Dr. Andrew Wheatley has been at the center of an investigation. Back in 2018, the Auditor General's report uncovered several instances of nepotism and cronyism at Petrojam. He was the energy minister at the time. And while he denied any wrongdoings, he resigned from cabinet. Opposition leader Mark Golding said he should be removed this time around.
If we want Jamaica to become a stronger society, to attract more investment from sources that are reputable and who we would like to do business with, and so on, we can't allow our state of affairs in government to degenerate in a serious way like this. And to have somebody in the cabinet with these charges over them, that would be a serious blot on our country. And I think would be unprecedented to the best of my knowledge.
Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
First up this evening.
In the meantime, the opposition says it notes the inconsistencies in the statements given by the Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, when asked who initiated the talks with the United States government for the third country.
You wanna combo him now. So JFJ raises human rights concerns over the didn't JFJ put out a statement about Mr. Wheatley as well? I am almost certain that they did, but I will move on. The Jamaica Council of Churches has joined calls for Andrew Wheatley to relinquish his ministerial responsibilities following findings by the Integrity Commission and recommendations that he face criminal charges, including illicit enrichment. Dr. Wheatley, who serves as the Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for science, technology and special projects, has come under increased scrutiny in the wake of the report. President of the Jamaica Council of Churches, Sofradan, Bishop of Kingston, Garth Minot, says Dr. Wheatley should step aside in the interest of transparency and accountability while the matter is addressed. So there were calls, ladies and gentlemen, and we cannot say that at least one church didn't come out and say, no man, you know, so this is not right. You need to step aside, Bridget. You need to step aside. So we have to appreciate that. We have to appreciate that. Let me see if there's anybody else that came forth and represent. I'm sure I heard there was calls from the JFJ for him to relinquish himself from the post. I think there needs to be equal call for Fitzgerald Mitchell to remove himself as the CEO of the UHWI. To be quite honest with you, but that's another story within itself, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section. At least we have some semblance of you know, people out there. Sometimes, whether they're being forced or not, at least they came out and said something not true. Yes, like and share, ladies and gentlemen. Now, my people, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the matter. See? chapter 2 of the report of Mr. Wheatley. This investigation was undertaken based off 2 referrals. Blah, 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 blah. Obtain information and witness statements from responsible officers at the House of Parliament, St. Catherine Municipality, Information and Complaints Division of the Integrity Commission, Company's Office of Jamaica, National Lands Agency, Tax Administration Jamaica, various financial and other institutions. Review the information statements collected and prepare case file and report. Who is the concerned public official? Dr. Wheatley. Alright. We're going to the law, evidence and discussion findings. What it says here, under the PIMA and ICA, parliamentarians are required to file statutory declaration with the commission. Both pieces of legislation define parliamentarian as a member of parliament or a member of the House of Representatives or the Senate. So any one of those two would have to follow this particular law, is what they're saying. Reference obligation can be established by proving that Dr. Wheatley was a parliamentarian at the material time. These are legalities. Those are our legalities. Let me see what this says here. This is a date. Okay. The DI is in possession of evidentiary material which indicates that Dr. Wheatley was by way of notice in writing requesting to provide further information to the DOC as outlined below. By the way of a letter December 15, 2020, Dr. Wheatley was requested to submit further information to the Commission in respect of his statutory declaration submitted for the period 2011-2019. Dr. Wheatley required to provide. I'll put on this as a card. And I really need this right now. So it says Dr. Wheatley was required to provide the request information by January 15, 2022. Alright, so these are more details. This one I see. Requests made by Commission to obtain information from Dr. Andrew Wheatley. Confirm the opening dates of the following accounts held at Bank of Nova Scotia. Account number redacted and balance 2011 to 2019. Account number redacted, opening date was 2000. Opening date, account redacted, opening date and balance 2011 to 2019. So that's Bank of Nova Scotia. So Bank of Nova Scotia Premium Fixed Income Fund AC maintained at Bank of Nova Scotia. Proven wealth account status provided. The date was obtained in detailing. Balances are provided for all of his accounts. House, apartments at Redis. No, listen to this. Mitsubishi Pajero. I have a Hyundai 2011, 2006 Mitsubishi Pajero, 2012 BMW, 2014 Toyota Prado, 2017 Toyota Hilux. Immovable properties. A house at 52 something. That's redacted. An apartment at Cedar Court. A house at Caribbean Estate. An apartment at Red Hills. House at Richmond Estate. Land at Kirkland Heights, Red Hills. A house at Brayton. Apartment at Jacks Hall. House in Florida, United States. Land in St. Elizabeth. House in USA. Land in Top Hill. Land in Stitwell. These are the houses in, I think, oh. Whoa. Okay. reason for not declaring land located in such and such in 2018. So this is asking him the reason for not declaring that property. A full particular of the property located in the United States. Liabilities balance as at December 17th of each year during the period 2011 to 2019. Oh, I thought, let me see. Hey Queen, how you doing? Gideon, big up yourself. You know, I don't want to let you know because I'm reading, but may I skim through the report here so we don't see. If you see me catch any gross income for the periods 2011-2019, but not limited to income earned from employment, business and rental properties. Confirming, so this table is, this is the request form in respect to the statutory declaration. Okay. Western Medical Center, Telecell, Technofarm Industries Jamaica Limited, Capital Investment, okay. Price Tech, Marsan Technology Limited, Marsan Technology. Based on an examination of the items of information requested, the correspondence between Dr. Wheatley and the information and the complaints division, the DI notes that the majority of the information requested by the DOIC was not provided to him directly. So the information was not, majority of it was not provided to him directly. The DI also notes, however, that most of the information requested from Dr. Wheatley by the DIOC is now in the DI's possession because it was either provided by Dr. Wheatley or otherwise obtained by DI during the course of investigation. That would make sense. What's up, some unknown labor? How are you doing? That would make sense because remember, when you was reading the previous part in terms of the chronological order of the investigation, there was some back and forth that, you know, the IC definitely had to go to these places and get information and request it by themselves. Mr. Wheatley was either too busy or whatever, right? All right, going on down the line. That's a part of the National Lands Agency. These parts are important. Anytime you say highlight, application to surrender certificate of title and to register strata plan and to issue new certificate of title. The value of lots numbered 1 to 20 as they appeared on the said plan does not exceed the following. Lot 1, $10,400,000. Oh, $10,400,000. All 20 lots were valid similar on March 17. Oh, the 20 lot. The 20 lot, you know hear the argument about the land we have, and yeah, we're going at this. This is important. Alright. Particulars related to submissions into lots and development of plot of land. Evidence from the duly authorized officer of the NLA indicates that Dr. Wheatley and Mr. Patrick Phipps acquired a lot of land in East Kirkland Heights, Stirling Castle. Appearing at volume, this part I definitely need to record. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be recording some important parts of the Integrity Commission report of Mr. Wheatley. So right here it says, let me not zoom it up so much. Can it go over? Oh, man. All right, let me draw it down a little bit. I know what to do. Remove this picture. No, not that one. This one. And then my actual, yeah, this needs to be smaller so I can read. Yes. So here we go. Awesome. Perfect. All right. So particulars relating to the submission into lots and development of a paid lot of land. Evidence from the duly authorized officer at the NLA indicates that Dr. Wheatley and Mr. Patrick Phipps acquired a plot of land at East Kirkland Heights, Sterling Castle, appearing at volume and folio redacted and redacted respectively in the Register Book of Titles on October 18, 2011 as tenants in common in equal share for consideration of $9 million. No lien or mortgage was endorsed on the title. In section 4 of the form of immovable property, Dr. Wheatley included this plot of land in his statutory declaration for years 2011 to 2018. Throughout this period, he consistently referred to it as land that was purchased for $12 million and co-owned with Mr. Patrick Phipps. The estimated market value was first listed in his 2012 statutory declaration as $12 million. In his 2018 statutory declaration, it had risen to $18 million. Notwithstanding, the evidence indicates that the reference property was subdivided into two 20-strata lots in 2013. The DI is in possession of a document dated March 8, 2013, titled Applications to Surrender Certificate of Title and to register strata plan and to issue new certificate of title, which was submitted by or on behalf of Dr. Wheatley and Mr. Phipps to Registrar of Titles. This included a declaration of value that stated value of lots numbered 1 to 20 as they appeared on said plan does not exceed the following. Lot 1, 10,400,000. All 20 lots were valued similar. On March 17, 2013, splinter titles were issued pursuant to this application in the names of Wheatley and Patrick Phipps. In 2018, 6 of the lots or apartments was transferred to Dr. Wheatley.
What can go so?
Go and splash DJ.
What can go so?
Something right now, wisdom warriors. Something is not right. Tell about them.
So anyway, 6 lots was given to Mr. Wheatley, ladies and gentlemen. If my math is correct, Mr. Wheatley said it was $12 million. I guess they're business partners. 20 lots, he got 6. 6 times 10,400,000. Somebody do the math there for me fast on the calculator there. 10,400,000. One lot is valued at 10,400,000 times that by 6. 62.4 million dollars. Great Jamaica, big up. Yeah man, 20 lots, 10,400,000 each. Anyway, Mr. Wheatley was the lots were transferred to Mr. Wheatley. The evidence reviewed by the DI shows that between 2014 and 2018, the majority of the reference lots were divested to various persons. What? Divested to various persons and at various prices. Interesting. However, Dr. Wheatley's statutory declaration over the period did not reflect this. So there was a uptick in the price of the lots, ladies and gentlemen, is what they are saying. Evidence reviewed by the DI shows that between 2014 and 2018. Remember, it's 2011, you know, to 2018, you know, this whole situation with the lots. But evidence revealed that 2014 to 2018, the majority of the reference lots or apartments were divested to various persons and at various prices. However, Dr. Wheatley's statutory declaration over the period did not reflect this. So the prices varied, meaning they could have gone up. It was not disclosed. Obviously, the Integrity Commission has a problem with that. Let's move on to this table. This says the East Kirkland Sterling owner, Wheatley, 18th, 11th month, 18th day, 2020. So that's November 18, 2011. Submissions of the East Kirkland property. Okay. Owners, alright. The date subdivided was March 17, 2013. Okay. Date property was sold 2017, 2018, 2017. So Mr. Wheatley did not declare the 2017 one. And then in 2018 he didn't declare that either. Dates when properties were sold, those 3 dates between 2 times 2017 and 1 time 2018, there was no declaration on the declaration form. These things cause problem with the Integrity Commission now because they're looking at your strings like, wait a minute. Alright, so now 2015, Stir Castle, not declared. 2016, not declared. 2017, not declared. 2016, not declared. And these are dates properties were sold. Safe to say that whenever there was a sale, I'm seeing not declared, ladies and gentlemen, from 2014, 2017 on this thing right here. Moving on. Oh, there's more. So there was, none of these were sold. Okay, so there's nothing. Okay. It was not until the year 2017 that Dr. Wheatley statutory declaration made a reference to the subdivision of the land. That means that information wasn't given up until 2017. Again, this lack of
be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way,
this lack of sharing this particular information. Any investigator is going to be suspicious, ladies and gentlemen. And do you wrong them? And it's going to want them to dig deeper, which that is their job. It was not until the year 2017 that Dr. Wheatley's statutory declaration made reference to the subdivision of the land. In section 4 of the form, in an asterisk note relating to the land. An asterisk note? Like, seriously? Wait a minute. There are 6 splinter titles on this property in the name of Andrew Wheatley and Patrick Phipps, which is being transferred. That's what it says in bold black. Reference to this property was not included again in section 4 of Dr. Wheatley's statutory declaration until 2022 from 2018. However, in section 11 of the statutory declaration form, which required the declaration to state particulars of income from all sources, hereafter, section 11, Dr. Wheatley indicated rental of apartments 6 at $85,000 a month. In substance, this same note appeared on virtually all of Dr. Wheatley's statutory declaration for subsequent years, with adjustments made for changes in monthly rental amount. Whew, the DI The DI highlighted that the subdivision of the property into 20 lots and Dr. Wheatley's status as joint title holder on each of these lots, together with the 2018 transfer of 6 of the reference strata lots or apartments to Dr. Wheatley solely, should have been reported in his statutory declaration for the years in which the transfers were made. So there's a failure of Dr. Wheatley by omission in regards to his statutory declaration with this property alone. All right, around the ultimate disposition of 14 of these lots or apartments jointly legally owned ought to have been included in Dr. Wheatley's statutory declaration in the manner indicated above. So yeah, that is very interesting. Now, commercial loans is the next section, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see how much time gone on this particular. Okay, I'm good. The DI is in possession of evidential material which indicates that Dr. Wheatley acquired 5 loans with BNS, which were not declared in the relevant period as set out in Table 3 below. Okay. 5 million, 7 million, 5 million, 30 million, 2013, 5 million. Loan disbursement, 13 of November. Date repaid, 14 of November. What does that even mean? He took a loan of $5 million, almost $6 million on the 13th of November, and he paid it back the 14th of November. No, that can't be. It must be 2014, a year after. Something just ain't right. Something ain't right. And that can't be right either, because the way how these other dates are, it tells me it's not right. I'm gonna leave that alone. In a request for further written explanation, Dr. Wheatley was required to indicate the reason for not declaring the commercial loans from BNS in his response dated October 23rd, 2024. Dr. Wheatley indicated the following: the commercial loans were not disclosed as they did not involve acquisition or expenditure of funds by me, as the commercial loans were related to and utilized exclusively to the construction development under the joint venture with Mr. Phipps, and which did not involve any financial involvement on my part. Let me read that again. Dr. Wheatley explained that the commercial loans were not disclosed as they did not involve acquisition or expenditure of funds by him, as the commercial loans were related to and utilized exclusively to the construction development under the joint venture with Mr. Phipps, and which did not involve any financial involvement. Hey Doreen, thank you so much, my darling. Oh my God. Thank you for the super chat, Doreen. God bless you. And consider becoming a member of the platform. We need to get the memberships up and up. I like to see the honorable members with their badges and their flying the emojis. You know what I mean? Get your membership, man. Thank you so much, my darling. All right. Let's continue. Having regard to the foregoing, the DI's section part A, third schedule, the IC, which stipulates that the Declarations are required to provide to the Commission particulars of liabilities, including guarantees of declarant, spouse, and children. This includes all loans in the declarant's name, regardless of their intended purpose. The reference loan, therefore, ought to have been included in Dr. Wheatley's statutory declaration. So they're explaining to you why it should have been in the statutory declaration, ladies and gentlemen. Because of the section 12 part A, third schedule of the Integrity Commission Act. Now, this is something that Dr. Wheatley should understand, because, you know, it's been years and they have had many, what would I call it now? They would have had many workshops, and the members of parliament would have gone to these workshops to understand what is required of them, right? And it has been a long time. And then when I look at what happened with Andrew HOLNESS now, if I was anybody in the JLP, I would make sure that this is something that I knew to the T. Now you have to ask yourself the question, why is it there isn't a problem with the PMP MPs in terms of actually being clear? I have seen MPs from the PMP be charged for not, you know, declaring everything in time, but they're being late on their declaration, but I've never seen them get charged or recommended for charges of illicit enrichment. This man is the first, and this is one of the reasons why, right here, failing this to mention this, right? And I see why they give them so much time, you know, because when I was reading the chronological order of things, I see why the Integrity Commission give them so much time, because this is a lot. It's a lot. Anyway, it says this includes all loans in declarant's name, regardless of their intended purpose. So once his name is on a loan, based off section 12 part A, third schedule, it has to be given on his declaration, because his name is on it. All right, and they said it ought to have been included in Dr. Wheatley's statutory declaration in the years 2013, 2014, 2015, and 2021 as appropriated. All right. So, illicit enrichment. For context, it is necessary to briefly delineate the framework governing illicit enrichment, both from an international and local perspective. I appreciate this. Listen, class. The offense of illicit enrichment as a concept existed in some form from as early as the 1930s. It was inappropriate in Jamaican law as a consequence. The Jamaican accession to the Inter-American Convention Against Corruption, hereafter the Convention. The Convention, among other things, includes a provision of illicit enrichment, which is articulated in Article 9 as follows. Subject to its constitution and the foundational principles of its legal system, each state party that has not yet done so shall take the necessary measures to establish under its law as an offense a significant increase in assets of a government official that he cannot reasonably explain in relation to his lawful earnings during the performance of his function. Among those state parties that have established illicit enrichment as an offense, such offense should consider an act of corruption for the purposes of this convention. Any state party that has not established illicit enrichment as an offense shall, insofar as its law permits, provide assistance and cooperation with respect to this offense as provided in this convention. So everybody that is a member, a servant, a public servant, especially MPs, should appreciate, ladies and gentlemen, clearly that this needs to be observed. You understand this particular convention, right? It goes on to say the offense of illicit enrichment was enacted in domestic law in 2001 by virtue of the CPA. According to Basel Institute of Governance, hereafter Basel Institute, despite the fact that illicit enrichment has now become a widely adopted legal concept, there is still a significant amount of uncertainty among practitioners over what the concept actually refers to. This is understandable, as there is no unanimously applied definition of illicit enrichment, and the actual form, wording, and particular and practical operation of illicit enrichment laws around the world vary significantly from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. Okay? In an effort to arrive at the universal definition, Basel Institute reviewed 98 laws, which led them to follow articulation of the concept. At its most basic level, the act of illicit enrichment can be broadly defined as the enjoyment of an amount of wealth that is not justified through reference to lawful income. So that is the basic definition of illicit enrichment. Let me repeat. The enjoyment of an amount of wealth that is not justified through reference to lawful income. In the context of the illicit enrichment, the enjoyment of an amount of wealth refers to the acquisition, receipt, or use of something of pecuniary value, while also interpreted in various ways according to the jurisdiction. The phrase "not justified" through reference to lawful income, right, refers to an absence of evidence that demonstrate the legitimate or non-criminal sources from which the enjoyment wealth was derived, such as salaries, profits from legitimate business, pension payments, inheritance, gift, or even loans from the bank. No, for the people that, you know, some of these words might go overhead. Basically, you guys remember the other day when the lawyer came out and she said that her client the money was taken from her client because it exceeded 100,000. Because under Jamaican law now, a tourist comes in the island, or anybody for that matter, and the customs person should see them in their luggage with more than 100,000, and they don't have an explanation as to how they got the money. You know, they can seize the money, right? They can seize the money, and now you have to, the burden of proof for you is that you have to explain now where did this money come from lawfully. In terms of Mr. Wheatley, ladies and gentlemen, well, the IC does not seize any money, but you would have to declare the money and explain how did you get the money based off loans, your lawful earnings and stuff like that. And when they do the calculation and whatever explanation you have, if it doesn't match up to legal means in which you got the money, then you are now being looked at as a person of interest in regards to illicit enrichment, because you simply cannot explain legally how you got this money. In the case of Mr. Wheatley, the sum is 164 million. That's a lot of money for you not to be able to explain how you legally got it. You understand? All right. A necessary question which arises then, based on the foregoing, is how does one define wealth? There are two main approaches used globally to determine whether they are the narrow approach and the wider approach. It is sufficient for present purpose to indicate that Jamaica utilizes the former, which regards wealth as things of pecuniary value, which are owned by a person, their spouse, and children. The Jamaican approach is encapsulated in Section 14.5 of the CPA. Section 14.5 of the CPA states as follows: where a public servant's own assets disproportionate to his lawful earnings, and upon being requested by the Commission or any person duly authorized to investigate on allegations of corruption against him, to provide an explanation as to how he came by such assets, he fails to do so, or gives an explanation which is not considered to be statutory, he shall be liable to prosecution for the offense of illicit enrichment and on conviction thereof. The penalty specified in Section 15.1 5A, it shall be a defense to a person charged with an offense of illicit enrichment to show the court that he came by his assets by lawful means. Proving illicit enrichment in law. In some jurisdictions, illicit enrichment is treated within the civil law arena only, or in criminal law only, while in others it's dealt with both under criminal and civil law. By necessity, therefore, the burden and standard of proof which hinge on the foregoing also vary, as can be seen from the crafting of the offense above under Jamaica law. Illicit enrichment is a criminal offense, and the burden of proof is shared by Crown and the accused. Reversed burden. Consistent with established legal principles, generally the Crown's burden of proof in criminal law must be discharged beyond a reasonable doubt. When a burden of proof is imposed on an accused person, this burden should be discharged. On balance of probabilities. Wow. So when it comes to the accused, the burden must be discharged on balance of probabilities. So the IC has the greater burden of proof. You understand? Because the burden of proof by the IC has to be beyond reasonable doubt. But the burden of proof, Merville and Andrea, for Dr. Wheatley would be must be discharged on balance of probabilities. All right. Consequently, the Crown, inclusive of the investigator, must first establish the wealth that the subject possesses. The wealth element, that is, the assets of the subject, are disproportionate to their lawful income. Section 14.5A of the CPA. Once the Crown has established the foregoing, a reverse burden is imposed on the subject to provide a statutory explanation, and the investigation statutory explanation to the investigating authority. Is that right, man? Yeah. To the investigating authority and the court as to how they came by their assets. Well, Section 14.5B and 14.5A of CPA. The illicit enrichment law in Hong Kong is broadly similar to Jamaica law in this regard. The Supreme Court of Hong Kong, in its examination of practical application of this law, held in the case of Ernest Percival, Max Hunt versus the Queen, that the Crown is required to prove beyond reasonable doubt that an accused person has obtained a standard of living above that commensurated with his present and past official emoluments. Remember what emoluments mean is what they pay you. Remember that? All right. Then if the prosecution manager manages to do this and an explanation by the person accused becomes necessary, which must be established on the balance of probability. How then can these burdens be discharged? The Basel Institute states the following. The case of an Attorney General versus Yu Kin Hong outlined that in order for the state to establish that a person's standard of living is above the commensurate with their income, they must show that the standard of living maintained by the accused could not be reasonable in all the circumstances have been afforded out of his total official emoluments payments from work during that period. So say for instance I get paid $1 million a year, but I am living a lifestyle every year of $1 million while retaining $2 million in my account. I would have to prove through some investment or some, some type of investment, some type of loan to start up a business, and the business would have to be declared, and then the income and whatever from that could show that, I work, I get paid, but this is where I get that extra money from, so I can actually, live this lifestyle that I live. It's that simple, right? Anyway, as it relates to whether the explanation provided by the accused person is satisfactory, the case of Ernest Percival Hunt versus Queen provides the following guidance. Thus, satisfactory explanation for the purpose of this case means the explanation which shows upon a balance of probability that the difference between an accused person's standard of living over the period charged and that which would have been commensurate with his present or past official emoluments, as if the standard let me read that again. Thus, satisfactory explanation for the purposes of this case means an explanation which shows upon balance of probability that the difference between an accused person's standard of living over the period charged and that which would have been consummate with his present or past official emoluments has, if the standard of living actually maintained has been higher of the two standards. Alright. Of the two standards been paid for with money, the ultimate source of which was untainted by any corruption on the part of the accused. So the money have to be clean, ladies and gentlemen. The money has to be clean. It have to be clean money, right? Because you can't get money from anywhere, but the source of the money is what is important. The investigators approach source and application of funds analysis. All right. So that will be part one, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Of that breakdown, because I don't want to make it too long. Yeah. So please let me know what you think about that, and let me know if you guys appreciate this actual conversation in diving into the intricacies and the definitions. So I think I'm getting a better understanding. I hope that you are as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see what we're doing now. Okay, alright. Oh, me on for 1 hour and 44 minutes. Oh. These politicians are using regular business then as front. The businessman cannot touch them money or else. Hey, I don't know nothing about them, you know. I just learning. And it's a good thing to learn because, so for instance, one day you would need to explain your wealth. Well, you would need to have your certain things in order, innit? I'm just saying. I'm turning off the fan, they too high. Fan they too high, man. Fan they too high, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, me just go probe now. What am I saying now? So hold on, let me skip past something now. I said. How the burden of discharge as it relates. No wonder Mr. Mystic always use that terminology as it relates. You know, certain jargons work for certain Oh, this is interesting. Yes, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Why did I just leave why did I leave this thing and it just went to something else? It's kind of weird. That is kind of weird. Oh, this is where I left off. Okay. This is where I left off, page 42. The investigators approach source and application of fund analysis as it relates to the approach to be employed by investigators in determining whether a person has committed the offense of illicit enrichment. Now, this is important too as well. My goodness. I just want to shout out to God and give God the glory, you know? No need to complain, you know? No need to complain. What is this? All right. I'm going to make this one read, you know? I'm going to make this one read. I'm going to make this one read aloud.
The investigators approach. Source and application of funds analysis April 5th. 11 as it relates to the approach to be employed by investigators in determining whether a person has committed the offense of illicit enrichment. The Basel Institute provides the following guidance. A source and application of funds analysis, herein source and application analysis, is an evaluation of all the financial incomings and outgoings of a particular person over a defined period of time. While commonly used in a commercial context, this method of analysis is an excellent tool in the context of illicit enrichment, as it can be used to accurately and fairly prove that 1. A person has enjoyed a certain amount of wealth, and 2. The lawful origin of this wealth cannot be explained by reference to the same person's lawful income. In other words, a source and application analysis can be used by investigators and prosecutors to establish the two common elements in all illicit enrichment laws, the wealth element and the inadequate income. The need for a financial investigation to establish known lawful sources of income and applications. 9 referred to in this context as a cash flow analysis
Tip
or
of
a
the
sources
iceberg.
and uses of funds analysis. Investigation into the statutory declarations of Dr. Andrew Wheatley for the years 2010 to 2022, Integrity Commission Act, Corruption, Prevention, Act, Parliament, Integrity of Member. When conducting a source and application analysis, it is first necessary to conduct a thorough financial investigation to establish 2 key monetary figures required by courts to determine if the 2 common elements of an illicit enrichment law have been established. These 2 figures are 1. The total amount of wealth that the person has enjoyed as defined by the amount of funds that were applied towards the acquisition or enjoyment of this wealth during a set period of time, and including the total amount of...
And when they say enjoyment, what are your expenses? When they say enjoyment is, what are your expenses? You have to tell them about your expenses because the expenses are going to be a part of it because you have to buy food. You know, you have to pay for fuel. Those expenses. What are your expenses? Yeah? Let's continue.
Amount of funds that were saved by a person during this set period of time. 2. The total amount of the known lawful sources of income received by or available to the person over the same period of time that could possibly have been applied towards the acquisition or enjoyment of this wealth, or towards the accumulation of savings. The instances where someone uses, expends, or saves funds that count towards the first figure above are referred to as applications. The instances where someone has received funds from a known lawful source are referred to as known lawful sources of income. Common applications will include such things as expenditures made by the person to buy tangible assets, such as houses, cars, or company shares, or to make repayments towards a loan. Common known lawful sources of income will include such things as salaries earned by the person through employment, inheritances they may have received, and any loan amounts granted to them under A. Investigation into the statutory declarations of Dr. Andrew Wheatley for the years 2010 to 2022, Integrity Commission Act, Corruption, Prevention, Act, Parliament, Integrity of Legitimate Agreement. Income received prior to the period of analysis are also taken into account in the form of savings held on bank balances at the start of this time period. Conversely, the accumulation of funds on bank accounts during the period of analysis are considered as an application of funds and are represented through the amount of funds held on the relevant bank accounts on the final day of this time period. The source and application formula wants a total figure of applications and a total figure of known lawful sources of income have been identified by a financial investigation. The final step of a source and application analysis compares these 2 figures using a simple formula to determine whether the person used / expended or saved an amount of funds over a certain period of time that could not possibly have been derived from a known lawful source of income. This formula is represented as follows. Investigation into the statutory... If all the lawful income and all the outgoing applications of a person have been established by a financial investigation, and the person has not received funds from unlawful sources, then the formula will always result in 0. If the person has received and used / applied funds from unknown / unlawful sources, then the resulting figure will be a positive number, which will equal the total amount of funds that the person must have received from unknown / unlawful sources. 10. Establishing illicit enrichment to the court's satisfaction. 10 Annex 2, 4, 5, 12 The legal approach to proving illicit enrichment in India mirror 4, 5, 12 For illicit enrichment, a guide to laws targeting unexplained wealth investigation into the statutory 4, 5, 12 The legal approach to proving illicit enrichment in India mirrors the approach here in Jamaica and Hong Kong. According to the Basel Institute, the courts in India have ruled, with consistency, that the primary burden in proceedings is first on the prosecution to prove, beyond reasonable doubt, that the public servant had been in possession of pecuniary resources or property disproportionate to his known sources of income, and that once this burden had been discharged, A burden was then placed on the targeted person to satisfactorily account for this disproportion on the balance of probabilities. Determining illicit enrichment by the court. A mathematical calculation, April 5th. 13. The question which now arises is, how, in the final analysis, is illicit enrichment determined? The approach used by the court will be explored below, however. This approach must also be adopted by the investigating authority because ultimately, depending on the findings of the investigation, the question of illicit enrichment is one for the court. Determining illicit enrichment is a matter of mathematical calculation. The DI highlights below, inter alia, the formula recognized by the Basel Institute. In assessing whether the wealth element and the inadequate income element have been established and illicit enrichment has occurred, the courts will often conduct a mathematical exercise. In doing so, they will assess the evidence presented and will seek to determine two precise figures that can be put into a simple formula to determine whether or not the targeted person has illicitly enriched themselves, sick. These two figures are derived directly from the evidence presented to establish the two common elements and are as follows. Investigation into the statute. Figure 1, the total amount of wealth that the person has enjoyed over a certain period of time, as derived from the state's evidence regarding the wealth element, and Figure 2, the total amount of lawful income received by the person over the same period of time, as derived from the state's and or a person's evidence of income regarding the inadequate income element. Once these two figures have been determined, the court can then conduct a simple mathematical exercise to determine if the elements have been successfully established and that a person enjoyed an amount of wealth, and the lawful origin of this amount of wealth has not been justified or explained by reference to the same person's lawful income.
There was a table. I guess I passed it. Here it is. Total amount of funds the person has applied towards the acquisition or enjoyment of wealth are saved over a certain period of time, minus non-lawful sources of income. Total amount of funds from non-lawful sources received by or available to the person over the same period of time. That could be applied towards the acquisition or enjoyment of wealth or accumulated in savings, and then it would equal to the total in illicit enrichment. It would equal to the total amount of funds the person applied towards the acquisition or enjoyment of wealth or accumulated as savings that have not come from unknown sources. So when you get the application, what them actually give you, and then the known sources of income are your minus. If it don't go to zero, anything that goes over that is the illicit enrichment money we have to explain now and say, all right, so where did this money come from? How did you accumulate this money? It's that simple, you know? It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. Right? But where were we? This mathematical exercise can be summarized as a simple formula. Total amount of wealth over total amount of lawful income. Total illicit enrichment. So if the two, when you minus the two things, total amount of wealth and total amount of lawful income, and you get zero, it means that you are certified. But when they did this to Andrew Wheatley's income, $164 million was over. $164 million was over, ladies and gentlemen. The total amount of lawful income was $164 million less than the total amount of wealth. Something just ain't right. The total amount of wealth was $164 million more than his total amount of lawful income. I am reading this and I am trying to figure out how is Andrew Wheatley's lawyers going to explain this in court? How are they going to explain this away in court? That's what I'm trying to figure out. How are they going to do that? How are they going to do that? Anyway, I'm going to move on from this. I'm going to move on from that. Because I'm going to go on that one next time. I think we exhausted. No, we're not exhausted, but we don't want to exhaust. We don't want to punch up too much on the brain on that. Anyway. Yes. Let's go to this. Me say Andrew the overseas on my side. Somebody never said Brazil are play. I haven't even looked at anything, but what happened with the Brazil match? I should have heard people earlier tonight screaming, "Goal! Goal! Yo, goal!" Right, we should not hear people are knock pan in the street, you don't know? He will have to please. No, what the challenge, alright. So when I look at it, the Integrity Commission is clearly understand that I just saw a title a while ago that really bothered me. I'm going to go and check it out and let you guys hear it too. Brazil beat 83-0, okay. Yeah, I mean, I know. That's how lawyers work. They take on any high profile case. But listen, the Integrity Commission would not have, in my opinion, recommended charges for Mr. Wheatley if they weren't positive. Because they know that when they go to court, they will have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he's actually guilty of this. So I am confident that the Integrity Commission is going to win this case based off them knowing that. And you know, there's what they call learning curves, you know, in terms of previous things. I mean, the attack from Andrew HOLNESS must have prepared them mentally to make sure that in this instant they would be on point 100%. Yeah, I don't see how the Integrity Commission is gonna lose this case, you know. I honestly don't see it. I don't. But a lot of interesting things in the news, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Something going on Jamaica? Jesus. Mighty God. Mighty God. Yo, what is going on in the world, bro? Okay, alright, so let me start here. Now, this is a lot. Yeah, this is a lot. Yeah, let me see what this is about. Okay. There's a lot going on in Jamaica. Me, I didn't wide I'm like, what the hell is going on? Boy, man, a lot of shit, boy. There's so much going on. Oh dear. Oh my goodness. This is a lot. This is a lot. All right. So, how do I want to do this? Have I taken care of this yet? No, I haven't. So let me handle it this way. Yeah, let me handle it this way. Let's listen, ladies and gentlemen.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name.
A lot of stuff is going on, man.
Meet Base 44, a complete AI creator.
Welcome back and continue the news. We pick up this segment with some news from Western Jamaica, where all 16 members of the Kahal Yahweh religious group have been found not guilty of the charges brought against them in the St. James Parish Court. Senior Parish Court Judge Justice Grant Price today upheld a no-case submission from defense attorneys Peter Champagny, KC, and Samuel Campbell, ruling that the prosecution failed to present sufficient evidence for the matter to proceed. The group had been charged following a police raid on its North St. James compound in June 2023. Investigators had raised concerns about child welfare issues and an indecent assault allegation. The trial, which began on April 8, 2024, ended with the judge ruling that all 16 defendants had no case to answer.
I don't even know who the Kalal is, bro. That's a religious group in Jamaica? I probably need to ask our head boy. Okay, so they were acquitted. All right.
Thanks, Jamila, and staying with this particular report because the National Integrity Action NIA Principal Director, Dr. Gavin Myers, says Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness must send a clear message that the serious allegations against Cabinet Minister will not be tolerated. Speaking with the news team on Thursday, Dr. Myers said he was uncertain about the specific action the Prime Minister should take, but noted that Dr. Holness should be guided by the precedent set in July 2018 when Dr. Wheatley resigned from the Cabinet amid the Petrodrum controversy.
This is not the first time Mr. Wheatley has been involved in situations like this. And then the last time it was under the same Prime Minister Holness. Prime Minister Holness then removed him from frontline duties when he was accused of previous action. So there is let's call it a pattern. There is a pathway that Prime Minister Holness himself has taken on this in terms of showing that his cabinet is not somewhere that he would countenance anyone who has been accused of this type of egregious wrong. So Prime Minister Holness himself has set a precedent.
That brother has set up Andrew Holness, you know. I don't realize that. Very bad connection. Huh? Hold up, wait a minute. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. That was a double take. My bad, yeah. I was like, very bad connection. I've never seen a red a red indicator on YouTube before. That's the first. All right, so I think we're good now. We should be, hopefully. Let me see. Hopefully we should be good now, guys. We should be good now. All right, let me share my screen here. Well, I won't share my screen. I'll just let you listen because I'm doing something. Yeah. Let me see how I could do this. Oh yeah, I know how to do it. Bolo, you smart, man. Come on, bro. Stop playing. You smart, man. Stop playing, Bolo. You know how to do it, bro. That's how you do it. What's wrong with you? I'm multitasking, y'all. I'm multitasking. We going through the news while I'm multitasking. You heard? Let me make sure that everything is straight. Let's continue. But this dude is setting up Andrew HOLNESS. He think he's slick.
And duties when he was accused of previous action. So there is a, let's call it a pattern, there is a pathway the Prime Minister HOLNESS himself has taken on this in terms of showing that his cabinet is not somewhere that he would countenance anyone who has been accused of this type of egregious wrong. So Prime Minister HOLNESS himself has set a precedent. And it would be good if Prime Minister HOLNESS followed the precedent that he himself has set.
Dr. Myers also.
I told you he was setting him up. Boy, hey, shout out to the NIA director. Sir, salute. Hey, I see you. I see what you did there.
Also argued that legislation is needed to provide clear guidance on how allegations of serious wrongdoing involving government ministers should be handled.
And I'm saying we here as a country, we have been calling for resignations, etc., when the IC bill itself is silent on how to act when someone has been accused of corruption in terms of whether they should stay in their job or not. And I think it's something that we, as a country, will have to look at, and the legislators will have to look at going forward.
Yeah, I appreciate that suggestion in regards to, legislation moving forward, to make it quite clear for people, like, all right, listen, this is what once this happens under the law, you already know what you have to do, so it doesn't become messy. And I think that's going to give the members of parliament and the senators the impetus to prioritize making sure that they are above board with their statutory declarations. Yes? So that's a great suggestion by Dr. Gavin Myers. And for those that are listening to me right now, I think you should raise this in other places apart from this platform, especially if you guys are connected to any of the members of parliament, and you can reach out to them and let them know that this is something that we as a people, in terms of integrity and accountability, would love to be the standard moving forward. And I am absolutely certain, ladies and gentlemen, that Mark Jefferson Golding, Marky G, as Conrad O'Brien have talked in, would have no opposition to this, given that he is the man of integrity, the integrity boss. Let's continue.
Jamaicans for Justice, JFJ, is also calling for Dr. Andrew Wheatley to be removed from the cabinet pending the outcome of criminal charges recommended against him by the Integrity Commission. Executive Director Michael Jackson says although Dr. Wheatley has maintained his innocence, the seriousness of the allegations, including illicit enrichment involving $164 million, warrants his removal from the cabinet while the matter is before the courts.
To some other news now, the opposition leader Mark Golding is questioning why the Jamaican government would sign an agreement to accept third country nationals from the United States when a judge in that country ruled the practice is illegal. A federal judge in February struck down the Trump administration's third country deportation policy, ruling that deporting migrants to countries other than their own without due process or adequate notice is unlawful. The U.S. government was granted temporary resumption to resume the deportations while they appeal that matter, but Mr. Golding says the arrangement is very concerning.
There's a case decided by a federal judge in Massachusetts which said that these third country arrangements are not lawful under US law. The government of the United States is appealing that to their Supreme Court. That matter is not yet resolved. But we are nevertheless embarking upon an arrangement, notwithstanding the fact that the lawfulness of that arrangement in the jurisdiction of the other country that we're signing to is itself very uncertain.
And while the government, in justifying the agreement, says it is offering assistance to its ally, which is the USA, and one of its biggest trading partners, the opposition leader believes that there's more to this particular issue.
But for something like this, you would have expected that Jamaica would have some benefit from taking all these non-Jamaicans, processing them here, becoming responsible for them here, taking the risks inherent in having them here, and having to deal with them if they don't leave. So we're exposing ourselves to a significant amount of exposure by taking these people here, and risks. So, one would expect there to be some benefit flowing in the other direction.
There's a lot of clear dangers in doing this. And the biggest one is the legality of it, as Mr. Mark Golding pointed out, given the fact that as it stands, it's deemed illegal in the United States. Why on God's green earth, again, ladies and gentlemen? I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it. I really don't get it. Did I post that video on my YouTube yet? Let me see. I don't understand. And guys, like and share this video now, especially, like and share this video, not especially, just like and share the video, right? Let me tap into this a little bit, because I'm not going anywhere now. We're gonna be here tonight, and probably for the next hour and plus, Yeah, we rocking out tonight, so share this live, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if I posted the video. Yes, listen to this. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, in Massachusetts, that, Mr. Mark Jefferson Golding brought up, aka Marky G, in Parliament, asking Horace Chang the question about whether or not he was aware that there was a ruling about the TC and arrangement, and it was deemed unlawful. That are the deportee them. Right? They matter about TC and them are deportee, ladies and gentlemen. People they want to get out of the country, them don't come from America. We established that. There was no answer. Now, today they must have done some research and found out that this was actually true. Right? We have confirmed that it is true. I want us to look at the fact that when it comes on to the tabling of the reports in the Parliament, they holler about sub judice. This is a matter that is in the court, and we cannot table the report because it's sub judice and all of these things. Even when the court had made a ruling, they held back the report for the FLA. That's another thing. We're still looking for Mr. Darling's resignation, That is not a 9-day wonder, But let's continue. They don't table the report. They hold on to, we want to follow the law, and this is a case in court, and all of that nonsense. But when it is that a case in court that is now being appealed, obviously, according to the information, they're appealing this in the Supreme Court in the United States. You decide that it was prudent as a government to go against the legalities of it being appealed in the court, and there was already a ruling of guilty. You decided, no man, we're not going to worry about the appeal, because we know it's not against the law. So we are just going to take these people from the TSN. How irresponsible. Can you imagine? The Jamaican government might have put itself in a position where it could be in front of the World Court, violating the laws. No, I don't hear anybody else. I don't think anybody else has thought about this, Well, probably Marky G, because him are the legal luminary, and probably Probably Isaac Buchanan. But amongst my peers, and big up my peers them too, I don't hear nobody talk about that. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. This matter is sub judice. So why did they make a decision to take on the people through the TSN in a matter that is sub judice? That makes sense. But they won't table the reports. Mighty God. You know, can I toot my own horn a little bit? He's good. That was a good observation, Bolo. Yeah, that was a good observation. Yeah, he's good, man. He's good. He's good. What y'all think, ladies and gentlemen? What y'all think? They refuse to table the report, but they won't refuse to take on the persons from the United States in a case that has ruled that it's illegal and it's in the court, so it's sub judice. But they didn't want to take the report that's sub judice. No resistance for taking on the people in a sub judice process that was ruled on a negative, but in terms of the court that had already ruled before that they have no power over the proceedings of the parliament in tabling those reports based off the law, they had restraint. This government really works in reverse, you know? No, man, think about it. They major in the minor. Real talk. Who said that? Who said that? What's the brother's name from the Portmore division there? Oh, man, I forgot his name. I'm so sorry, man. I forgot his name. The Slim Bridge in there, man. I don't remember when I talk. Anyway, yeah, they major in the mind. Let's continue.
In the meantime, the opposition says it notes the inconsistencies in the statements given by the Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, when asked who initiated the talks with the United States government for the third country national arrangement. Dr. Chang, during post-cabinet press briefing Wednesday morning, told the country that it was the United States that approached the Jamaican government. He did so again in Parliament a few hours later. But according to a Gleaner article published on Thursday, former ambassador to the United States and Government Minister Audrey Marks reportedly made the proposal via a diplomatic note.
The two positions can't both be true. And I think there is a basis for this matter to be referred to the Privileges Committee of Parliament so that the question of whether the Minister of National Security lied to Parliament yesterday can be looked into and investigated and dealt with appropriately. And I'm calling for that to be done because we cannot have a situation where ministers of government in Parliament on their feet answering questions about matters of state are not being scrupulously truthful to the public in Parliament.
Hey, me not lie. Horace Chang fumble, you know? Horace Chang fumble, ladies and gentlemen. He was all over the place. It's almost as if he was not informed, like he was not in the loop. You know what I mean? I feel kind of, I don't know, feel sorry for him. Just a little bit. Yo, me I want softy, so. We feel sorry for them. Ladies and gentlemen, do remember that the Cash App is active and the phone is right here, so we can give you show them out. Anybody want to bless up the Cash App here? Yeah, man. Anybody that want to bless up the Cash App. And shout out to Martha Foundation from last night. Big up her. Let's continue.
Tensions are rising in West Albion, St. Thomas after a squatter settlement, after the demolition of a squatter settlement. Now several persons have been displaced. Carrie Ann Simpson has our report.
Residents of West Albion say they were jolted from their sleep by the sounds of concrete collapsing last week. In the near distance, an excavator clawing into the homes of their neighbors' unfinished houses. The walls of their home ownership dreams crumbled within minutes.
I'm sorry, inform the people in the house them. Make sure them present for them demolish the place. They spend $1 million hard money now and come see this that get out of that strokes.
West Albion is a growing informal community. While there are a few board structures, majority of the homes are concrete.
From 2014, me capture here so, and me move in 2019, and then now everybody a bill. Everybody come, everybody a bill.
Residents told our newsroom that there was no prior notice of the demolition. 6 structures were brought down between Thursday and Friday by the National Land Agency.
Me see land agency come, I push down people house, so the government send him come push down people house, right? And the lady house have on top where them push down. Then I even call the lady, tell the lady, say them a push down the house. Then just come demolish the woman house.
The NLA, in a written response to our newsroom, said it has been undertaking squatter management activities on
Ladies and gentlemen, please like and share this video. Now I need to start that over. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the platform. My name is BOLO TBV. Please like and share this video. So Bobby Montague, Andrew Williams. This is it. All right.
Tensions are rising in West Albion, St. Thomas after a squatter settlement, after the demolition of a squatter settlement. Now several persons have been displaced. Carrie Ann Simpson has our report.
Residents of West Albion say they were jolted from their sleep by the sounds of concrete collapsing last week. In the near distance, an excavator clawing into the homes of their neighbors' unfinished houses. The walls of their home ownership dreams crumbled within minutes.
I'm sorry, inform the people in the house them. Make sure them present for them demolish the place. They spend $1 million hard money now and come see this that get out of that strokes.
West Albion is a growing informal community. While there are a few board structures, majority of the homes are concrete.
From 2014, me capture here so, and me move in 2019, and then now everybody a bill. Everybody come, everybody a bill.
Residents told our newsroom that there was no prior notice of the demolition. 6 structures were brought down between Thursday and Friday by the National Land Agency.
Me see land agency come, I push down people house, so the government send him come push down people house, right? And the lady house have on top where them push down. Then I even call the lady, tell the lady, say them a push down the house. Then just come demolish the woman house.
The NLA, in a written response to our newsroom, said it has been undertaking squatter management activities on Albion lands since 2024, serving notices, conducting demolitions, and erecting no trespassing signs. It said the signage has oftentimes been removed. The agency says several consultation meetings have been held about the illegal construction expanded beyond the designated areas. For the residents, however,
we not rich, we not have it. You understand? And the people them capture the land and a bill say, all right, when you're not ready for the land pay for them, I'm going to save the money for pay for it. Then get the opportunity for bill. Then them pay for. Regularize the people them now, man. Give them the place, man. Because you don't want it to be a gully up here, so now we make road and do everything. Make we live.
But the NLA said the lands are reserved for development purposes. The agency said it observed all due protocols in carrying out enforcement on government lands. 28 structures have been earmarked for demolition.
When you hear that, Jamaica? Nara. Somebody said Nara. Somebody say Nara. Somebody say Nara. Jamaica. I'm sorry, you know, but you could have to suffer for the bad. Pastor Peter Chambers warned you guys. I don't know who these people voted for, so I'm just going to say the good has to suffer for the bad. Election have consequences. It does. It just does. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find something. I never did up to do this, you know, but I have to do it. I have to do it. It was the other day I saw it. I think it was Jerry Bryan's page, you know. It was Jerry Bryan's page. YouTube. Can't find it on YouTube. PNP plans election. What them call it something? Manifesto. Manifesto 2025 for squatters. Squatter settlements. Let me see if I can find it on this first. If not, I go on Google. So this is an all island, all angles. All angles. I don't want an all angles thing. I want a alright, let me go to the PNP page. And I try Google. Try Google. Try Google. Mission Jamaica Love. Their strategy focus on cutting into 190,000 national housing trust deficit. Okay. So we're gonna go into this article. Man, we're going to the article here because you know it's only right, ladies and gentlemen. No man, it's only right. I have to show the people here because I have to learn, you know. I lie, we don't have to learn. We have to learn. We have to learn. Alright, I'm back. So like I said, the good have to suffer for the bad. Affordable housing sweetener as PNP woes voters. Alright, listen to this. Ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this.
With nearly 1 in 5 Jamaicans living in informal or squatter settlements, the People's National Party, PNP, is committing to cut into what it says is a 190,000 housing deficit on the island. This is part of its strategy to sway voters its way in the September 3rd general election. The party details its plans for housing in its 2025 general election manifesto, which was launched Tuesday night at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in New Kingston. It is committing to restore dignity through land and shelter, stating that every Jamaican deserves a safe and secure place to call home. Business, Caribbean Business Report, It cited that hundreds of thousands remain locked out of land and home ownership and that unaffordable housing continues to fuel poverty, hopelessness, and crime. The People's National Party is committed to restoring dignity by securing land rights, building affordable homes, and transforming communities. We will build not just houses, but the foundation for a fairer society, the manifesto states. It repeats the party's election campaign promise of fixing the National Housing Trust, NHT, by discontinuing the annual withdrawal of $11.4 billion for budgetary support, thus enabling the NHT to comprehensively carry out its mandate. The PNP says it will restore the NHT to its original purpose of financing and building affordable housing for contributors. To this end, it will undertake an aggressive program to build 50,000 affordable houses on public lands across Jamaica not suitable for agriculture over the next 5 years. It will exclude the value of land from the price of these homes to make ownership more accessible. The manifesto also repeats another campaign promise, a NHT rent-to-own program to help self-employed and informally employed persons who cannot produce a payslip to prove their income so as to qualify for a mortgage, to go into possession of the house as a tenant and access mortgages after 6 months of honoring their rental payments so as to become owners. This program will also allow tenants to allocate a portion of the rent towards the deposit on the house so that over time they can pay down on the house, access a mortgage, and move from tenancy to ownership of the house. There is also the promise to establish a $1 billion Young Owners Deposit Fund, replenished annually, within the NHD to enable persons up to 45 years old to access non-refundable grants of $500,000 to cover the deposit on the purchase of their first home, once they have contributed for at least 2 years to the NHT. And the PNP will restore reduced interest rates for public sector workers such as teachers, nurses, the police, correctional and military officers, and provide an interest rate reduction for persons with disabilities. The manifesto also outlines a 3-month grace period before mortgage payments begin after purchasing their home, to enable them to furnish it, etc. A PNP administration will also apply a preferred 40% debt service ratio to support public sector workers in qualifying for larger NHE loans.
Rent-to-own initiative. Yo, me said my heart cry a while ago, just I listen back over there and something there. You guys really dropped the ball on September 3rd. Really dropped the ball. Alright, so I found the manifesto, and I'm glad I did. You know, God always works things out. Let me just minimize my actual this thing right here. Let me just minimize so I can get into this part of it more. So here we go. God always works in mysterious ways, ladies and gentlemen. So let me read this part here. Yes. Restoring dignity through land and shelter. Every single Jamaican deserves a safe and secure place to call home. Yet today, 1 in 5 Jamaicans live in informal settlements and hundreds and thousands remain locked out of land and home ownership. The housing deficit now stands at 190,000 units. Inequitable land distribution, unaffordable housing continue to fuel property, hopelessness, and crime. The People's National Party is committed to restore dignity by securing land rights, building affordable homes, and transforming communities. we will build not just houses, but the foundation of a fairer society. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I want you to ask yourself the question. Individuals that we just saw here, that their lands were stripped from them, their not their lands, but their houses that they built, concrete, demolished. I think the Andrew Holness need to be named the demolition man. Yeah, I think he needs to be named the demolition man. Alright? Merle said they didn't drop the ball, they didn't take it up at all. I can't even argue with that. But the point I'm making is, ladies and gentlemen, under the People's National Party, these people's houses would not be demolished, and some type of accommodation in terms of getting them in a place where they have their own something. If they needed the land that much for development, the people would be in a place, Jamaica. I'm not asking you. So I'm saying to the people of Jamaica, take sleep, mark that. Let this be the last time you have a Jamaica Labour Party administration as government. Party, open your eyes. Open your eyes, Party. You heard what the witnesses said? They didn't even mention anything because, yes, they are operating under the law. But where is the compassion? Where is the heart? Cutthroat, crony capitalists. All right? And Mr. Mystic Sensation always talk about it. So these lands are earmarked for some type of development. And the development does not include the people that are there. Remember what Mr. Lotan Cousin said about squatters? I think it came out in the news the other day. But there's another situation occurring, ladies and gentlemen. There's actually another situation occurring based off my research. This situation in St. Ann, listen to this. Listen to this. In St. Ann.
Squatter settlement in Mount Oliver St. Anne is on the brink of collapse this evening after several homes were demolished and dozens more slated for demolition. Now the residents are furious that the homes were destroyed despite the case being active in the court. While the St. Anne Municipal Corporation has intervened, the residents are urgently seeking a lifeline.
Valley Manor in Mount Oliver St. Anne. Over 60 homes built on about 300 acres of land overlooking the Caribbean Sea. Prime real estate for the dozens of people who call this place home. But on Wednesday, June 10, the first sign that this community is no longer their safe haven. Melissa Forbes has been living in the area for over 22 years.
I never expect this.
Pause. What did the People's National Party say? If you were on lands for 25 years, they would have brought down it from 60 to 25. And if you were a little bit less than that, they would have worked with you. I heard that specifically. The people of St. Ann, I don't know what section of St. Ann this is, but I will say again, the good suffers for the bad. September 3rd, again, September 3rd, you were warned by the man of God. Apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth, Mark Stewart, Peter Chambers, you were warned by the man of God, or the men of God, and the women of God, the children, the remnant, you were warned. 22 years you are on this land, you have a house. And they came with the police. Look at the lady wall. Let me play that back. Look at the wall on the property. Or maybe that's a property to decide, but nevertheless. St. Ann
Community is no longer their safe haven. Melissa Forbes has been living in the area for over 22 years.
I never expect this, and the owner come and say he is the rightful owner, which is no paper. Yesterday when him come, first time I was seeing him, first time for all these years.
The lady wanna cry. My God. My God. My God. And Jonas, I say you and yo, we're not gonna pay dearly for this now. And that's not a threat. That's a promise from the throne room of heaven. We're going to pay dearly for this. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Your fate sealed, brother. You're obviously being charged by the devil himself. You have no soul, you have no heart. You have given that up. It's quite clear to me that you have given that up. Yes? I don't know if my camera is still working anymore. Guys, let me know if my camera is still working. I'm having some difficulty with my yes, that's why the computer going. So see if the camera work. Or the camera work. Awesome. Yeah, man, Andrew, you got pay. Yo, God is going. These type of thing will not go unpunished, brother. As God live it, God are gonna deal with them. I tell you, brother.
The fact is, these residents do not have titles for the land they have been occupying. So in essence, they have been squatting on the land undisturbed for decades.
I really, really feel bad if you know, say, as a trying mother, most of all the money, don't have it. I just try if you just sacrifice yourself and do what we do. And if you see them come in and demolish people building, that is not good. Nobody can feel good over this.
Yeah, so when we come here, so a machete have they use a cutout pass or what, no road, nothing out there, so, and power saw. Yeah, so we want some justice, what go on, we don't like it, honestly.
We were informed that the people who claim to be the owner of the land took a few of the residents to court and that the matter is still active, which is why the residents are questioning who ordered the demolition. At least 4 houses have been destroyed so far.
And the trial is set for September. So I was surprised when I called. You know, I was told, and I told the officers.
Jamaica, the man them all have water tank on their house top. Yo, the people in my build some house up there, you know? Mighty God. Yo, you don't understand. It's when me get quiet and start shit, me have to process and just try if you know say the wrong thing them. Yo, judge.
Name and other person came and started demolition.
And more houses are still going up in the community.
I have a foundation on my own, you know. I have a garage, a bathroom, a kitchen, and a bedroom on my own when we start.
How much persons in your household?
Well, I don't really live in my own yet.
It's still not clear who gave the people permission to build on the property, and they remain tight-lipped. It is also puzzling how the authorities allow the community to become so developed. However, Mayor of St. Anne's Bay, Michael Belnavis, said the municipal corporation had to intervene and stop the demolition pending the court order.
The perceived owner is saying that he's been given these individuals notice several, and some in certain cases, they've been given stop orders as far as he's concerned. So I insisted and directed the tractor and he came with some security personnel to cease and desist. So
In acknowledging that the residents should also be respected and compensated, he said in going forward, several recommendations have been made.
In the form of discounts for the lots when they submit their subdivision, and have them get first preference, and thereafter allowing them to even get a portion of the land where everyone will be moved to that portion as some sort of compensation for which would have to be they'll have to be relocated.
Here, him a want JLP. A JLP man that him they hit the bus up. And them say some alleged lover or some business. One bag of mix up. But anyway, Jamaica. Wow. And I'm going to go to our next clip because big up Isabel Rose. She did put out that clip there. So I'm gonna go to that clip. Okay? I think I had remixed it, so I must have it right here. People, if you check out my shots, them and share them here. You know, people will watch one small video faster, so let's check out my shots, them, share them, and yeah, see video. Let me. Yes, I'm gonna find the video, ladies and gentlemen, to the video.
The longer the Prime Minister's statutory declarations remain uncertified, the more untenable his position becomes.
Jamaica's name is being impacted.
My bad, that's not the one. It there still. It's another one with market G. So fine. What am I talking about? I think Isabel Rose have it, you know. The people in house and the people in from party, and when Marky G they say, yeah, I think she have it. Let me go look. Isabel Rose. Copy. Isabel Rose. Like and share up the video from the guys if you haven't already. You want to send me? I sent your video to my friends. Thank you, Elite. Yeah, my baby, you know. You up a nice clean self, yeah. Yes. Yes, let me see if I this. Yeah, find all our old clips them. Yo, Isabel Rosa did some amazing job, yeah. You know what I'm saying, right? Andrew must go, no. Residents. Yo, let me see that clip there, man. Yo, let me see if let me listen to this, yeah.
The longer the Prime Minister's statutory declarations
Like that. That is a discussion.
No, you know, so I have to find it. No, I have to find it on my side. You know, believe? I have to find it. Sorry, say all I need is not up right now. I could ask her. And if she up, man, fix her. See if I do this.
Ready to
The prime. There's the
which
hey, Andrew one.
The
hold up, Jamaica does not.
Parati. Yes, man. You know, come off of the line, I'm going to Malvern.
Workers wicked, not tell me. And this I'm really vote for Andrew for.
And sons, I don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, do
they shouldn't kill him. They shouldn't.
Ready to a year of this and there's no tonal meeting.
and you just hear that you have to relocate it.
Prime Minister have a right to say what he must say, but he don't have no right because he have to come ask me what we want.
Chairman of the meeting, Council for the Belfield Division in Central Manchester. All of the comrades on the platform, enough respect, big up on yourself. The community of Silent Hill, to the people. It's not a speak, it's for the people. Things done when you elected. On some roads in this country, I can assure you that when the next you have a good reason. There are many good reasons for you to do so. I have given you one tonight already. I don't we need to deliver the victory. To ensure peace with them and election.
I forget that beating.
If you hear it, and a live feed pick it up. For your communities, you'd have heard about the Agricultural Development Fund. And so generally, irrigation is moderate to severe food insecurity. What does that mean? We're not getting the right nutritious food. We're not getting enough food. And that is time come to empower wholeness. Creating pure bottleneck line ministers because they selected who they wanted to be there. Extensions of states of emergency.
My side, me a dig, you know. Me a dig, man. Remember Mr. Richard has on constituency meeting with Mark Woolley. And the man at the same talk about the land thing extensively. Just can't remember. St. James, no sir. Manchester, no sir. Portland, no sir. I don't think my body cover that one then I one the more grassroots in it. But I go search still. Cause him have no fire speech then. I hit this. South St. James, no. No. Keisha Burchell. St. Andrew, no. Another constituency. No, sir. No. That's not it. That's not it. So I remember the meeting too, no, man. Richard has on 9 months ago. So they wanted Marky G there. They wanted Marky G there. Alright, I say, you know?
Lecture Richard Edward Azan. Make him welcome, comrades. Welcome your member of parliament to the state.
See Mark Golden up on the stage at September 1. Okay. West Clarendon. I'm gonna find it, you know. I don't believe. I find it, man. I get warm. Jamaica. Stick with me. I'm not let you know down. Hey, more big up I want to big up OBS, you know, for the feature of pause in the video when you do the recording, so you can find where you look for. Me love that. Mark Golding, so you can fit the pieces them together. Mark Golding, see it? Beat and teach, man. Beat and teach. Beat and teach.
Colleague and friend and mentor, Comrade Richard Azan, next Member of Parliament for North, Comrade Kaval. Now, comrades and friends, all of those who have been traveling national, developing a message of Jamaica in government, come far, have been relatively peaceful, is alive and well. People, a man who knows how to get in particular. I don't have to sell, and the fact that he's because our platform of the People's National Party. Enhance school feeding so that every needy child can get a hot, nutritious meal at school every day. Primary and secondary school, the right program, providing a subsidy of $10,000 a month per child for those parents who struggle to send their children to school 5 days a week because of the high cost of rural transportation for our children. We have the Agricultural Development Fund, using some of the taxes from the high levels of imported food, which have doubled under the Labour Party, to provide a fund to support our farmers and the growth and production of food in Jamaica. Because 55% of our people are suffering from food insecurity. They're not eating sufficient nutritious food to be healthy, and we have to change that. We have the first in family scholarship that Comrade Gordon spoke about. If you're the first person in your family to qualify for university or college, the next PNP government will give you a full scholarship, because we know that that is the best way to transition a family out of poverty to a better. And comrades, we are going to bring integrity, trustworthiness, and honor back into the center of leadership of the country. After 10 years of hanky-panky, rip-off, cronyism, nepotism, and outright thieving, we have to make that change, comrades, and I'm committed to leading that change. Comrades, I see it as a last-minute, a last-ditch effort. Them promise to increase minimum wage. Them cite a number that them say they're going to pay you in 5 years' time. That coming like another pro-box promise. And what they're promising for next year is a little diggity chump change increase, when we are going to have a complete review of the minimum wage system to ensure that it is kept abreast of inflation, and that the workers in this country who are earning at the bottom have a fair deal. And I know it will be a better deal than the Labour right deal. So comrades, you know when pressure reach Andrew, it's like him can't take it. When me draw from my bird paper and show him say, I yes, I'm born, the man flip out. Say, if you're born in Jamaica, you're not Jamaican. What kind of idiot thought that?
That is funny, honey.
So comrades, we know what we have to do. Jamaica is waiting on a new government. Jamaica is waiting for the enlightened policies of the PNP to take Jamaica from where it is now, stagnant economy, low growth, declining productivity, high levels of food insecurity, and low levels of foreign direct investment, turning that around by investing in our people, uplifting the quality of our people's education and training, making life easy for us with the 3.5 million increase of the tax threshold, removing tax from overtime for workers who are earning up to 6 million a year, and so much more. Comrades, we have everything to live for, everything to vote for, everything to achieve the victory for. Are you ready for the People's Party? Are you ready for it?
Oh man, he didn't talk about it. Damn. Jeez, please, Lothan. He didn't talk about it. God have mercy. I could have swore it was that one. Alright. Man. Let me see. Go in the archives there, man. Going at the archives. Mr. Lowton Cousins. Yeah.
Persons that prime ministers must know. Anything we get, you have to take it. They wait until we come in and put in the policies, and then when we come out, they implement the policies. We need to ensure that when we put forward the policies, we implement the policies. Because and the next Prime Minister of Jamaica, and comrade leader, let me tell you something. Anybody know that when I give a commitment, you know when I give a commitment, and I tell you I will deliver something, I deliver. And I am telling you right now, party leader, that Clarendon will deliver for you when the next elections are called. And that I don't...
Big up Carly. Carly, what's up, Carly? How you doing, my darling?
Intend to be the one member of parliament from Clarendon. We intend to bring home as many seats as are necessary to ensure that the People's National Party is returned to power. Comrade Carlton Bailey, my brother and my friend, I never gave up on you because I know you're a Viking like myself. And I knew you would be some way fight your way back to come and present yourself to the people because you're a fighter by your own nature. And you know that I love you, and you know the people love you. And I am happy to see you back, ready as a top shatter to join us on the battlefield. Comrade Wavell Hines from Northern Clarendon, next member of parliament, Comrade R.J. Jackson, Comrade Cian Barneswell, other members of the platform, big up on yourself. And welcome to the great constituent government, and being in opposition is like night. But the road, we are being sabotaged, and what them... I hear them talk about the highway to St. Jamaica. They wait until we come in. First to command that road, them going to turn back. About who's doing the roads, and I asked them to come forward. I tell you this, I was born and raised right here in Clarendon. No found, all I don't know my family. All I don't know the sacrifices we make for this parish. All of you understand the love that we have, and that is why we came into service. Because we never had to come into service, but we came here to serve the people. And as long as I live and I represent you, I will serve you and serve your interest and know that interest. Serious about leadership. I am very serious about the development of Jamaica. And I am very serious about the interest of the people. They ask you to choose Jamaica, but we have accepted that there are two Jamaicas. There's one Jamaica for the rich, and there's one Jamaica for the poor and the working class. Choose which Jamaica you want. And we're going to choose for them. We now make them choose for us, because we know which Jamaica they represent. We don't need to hide and talk. We know that they are not for us. The People's National Party has always been for us and will continue to be for us. So time come. Time come. Time come. Time comes for the People's National Party to return to government. Time comes for the interest of the people to be put at the forefront of the interest of development of Jamaica. And time comes. Comrades, let me tell you this. And I'm talking to comrades all across Jamaica, not just comrades here in this constituency. The decision is yours. When you go out and vote for the people, go out and has faced some hardship. And again, we are going to come and rescue Jamaica. We're going to have a prime minister that's going to serve for several terms. I must admit, comrade leader, I must admit, I believe that the time has come also where we must decide that prime ministers must not serve more than 2 terms. It was promised to the people in 2016. They voted for it. If you are serious about development, and we are serious about development, then we must look at term limits for prime ministers, so that we don't have prime ministers who believe that this country is beholden to them and that they are God unto themselves and they can do as them please. They must know that them have a shelf life. I know you don't have any great interest in serving till you're old and grey like some man who want to come out in a wheelchair. Because you came into politics and we know how you came into politics and we know you don't come into politics for yourself. But if you are serious and we are serious, we need to look at the issue of term limits where the prime ministers are concerned to ensure that there's some safety protection for the people of Jamaica. And I speak from the bottom of my heart when I say. So comrades, in southwestern Clarendon, we are PNP today, we are PNP tomorrow, and we are PNP forever. One love, one heart, power to the people. The word is...
John Star. People, my heart hurt me. Let me see if a Marky G say it there, so. Let me see if him say it there. I go check. I go check. I go check.
Is politics
You're on your way. It's a pleasure to be here. Comrade Lowton called it. Be done. You can relax. Former MP Butch Ascot, former cabinet colleague of mine, also a good friend. Great to see you here again, Butch. All of the councils, I want to labor them run up and down. It reminded me, which, given our commitment to building out Jamaica as a logistics hub and connecting Jamaica to the international supply chain, leveraging our geographical location in the Caribbean Sea along the main trade routes and shipping lanes through the Panama Canal, the potential for Vernon Field is very great. And we need to just put our vision into practice so that it can become a central part of the economy of this area, creating wealth for the people here in Southwest Clarendon. You have other assets too. You have the Milk River Spa, that has where what it can be. And then of course, there is the sugar lands and the factory of Money Musk, created into the community, taking advantage of the beautiful scenic route that would provide. And of course, and children are being abused, and change the culture around how we deal with these matters and talk things through in a respectful way and not let situations which are tense degenerate into violence and then people end up either in prison or dead. So the next PNP government has to focus on these things because they are important. Comrades, when I look at the way this country is being governed by the JLP, it gives me great concern. Even the water situation that was in the news. The KSAMC, which is to go. And we have another issue, I believe, in Duns River to do with water quality as well, including the Prime Minister of the country. That matter has been referred for further investigation. The law ought to say that if you can't get certified, you can't put yourself forward to run again.
So, the PMP is already on point, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I need to clip that up. How do I clip that up? I need to timestamp that. Wait a minute, hold on.
Division, which has responsibility for investigating serious financial crimes, and to Tax Administration Jamaica in respect of certain concerns relating to tax. The Prime Minister's response to all this is to seek to challenge the Integrity Commission in court to effectively strike down the country's main anti-corruption body and to also strike down the offense of illicit enrichment, which is an important tool in the armory against corruption, and trying to say that it is unconstitutional. It is putting Jamaica in a bad light. And quite frankly, the law ought to say that if you can't get certified, you can't put yourself forward to run again.
This is why I rate Mark Golden, bro. This man is speaking my language. Where say Alita, I have flashbacks. Mighty God. Hey, man, I say, me feel joy and pain all at the same time. I not tell no lie. Not tell no lie.
So comrades, we stand by the Integrity Commission. Comrades, apart from these governance issues, there are some serious needs that the country is facing and which the next PNP government has to step up and deal with. The education system of relative low income, difficult circumstances and can move up the ladder So we say any family, because that is a pressing social, economic, and security need of the country. So those people can live in dignity, they can get proper infrastructure, they can get proper titles for the properties that they occupy, and they can move forward in life. Dignity, most of them. There's a lot of People's National Party so that they can attend college, and when they become a university graduate or a college graduate, they can then help their siblings to step up as well. In the area of housing, there's a lot of work to be done. All the Operation Pride schemes across the country, I visited most of them. There are many of them that have done extremely well. There are some where there's still infrastructure to be dealt with, land titling to be dealt with. We intend to finish all of those that are unfinished, and we intend to focus also on improving the conditions of other informal settlements, because that is a pressing social, economic, and security need of the country, so those people can live in dignity, they can get proper infrastructure, they can get proper titles for the properties that they occupy, and they can move forward in life. We're going
Got him. That is good enough for me, ladies. So, ladies and gentlemen, I found a snippet right here. All right, I want you guys to listen to this. This was Mark Golding at the Milk River primary and infant school, Sunday, May 18, 2025, talking to the people about housing. You understand? And this proves that under PMP government, what we saw in this reaction previously of people's house being demolished would never happen under the People's National Party. You understand what I'm saying? Listen. But you know, I'm going to do further research and come back and find the videos when Lowton Cousins talked about the 25 years, moving from 60 years to 25 years to change that particular law, so that people that are in who are called squatters and in these settlements, they could know, and especially if they're there for some time, like the video I played before with the lady there at 22 years, and then can demolish the woman building, and Andrew HOLNESS under his government allow something like that to happen. Trust me. Trust me. You know, hey, but listen to this.
extremely well. There are some where there's still other things, other challenges at the home and at school that at least one secondary level. That's why we're going to tackle some of the issues around transportation costs for parents, to needy families. That which transforms the opportunities of families that are coming out of relative low income, difficult circumstances and can move up the ladder. So we say any family in that household, so that they graduate, they can then help their siblings to step up as well. In the area of housing, there's a lot of work to be done. All the Operation Pride schemes across the country, I visited most of them. There are many of them that have done extremely well. There are some where there's still infrastructure to be dealt with, land titling to be dealt with. We intend to finish all of those that are unfinished, and we intend to focus also on improving the conditions of other informal settlements, because that is a pressing social, economic, and security need of the country, so those people can live in dignity, they can get proper infrastructure, they can get proper titles for the properties that they occupy, they can get proper infrastructure, they can get proper titles for the properties that they occupy, they can get proper infrastructure, they can get proper titles for the properties that they occupy, and they can move forward in life.
Yeah. That's Mark Golding, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we missed out on. Election of consequences. Yeah, man. And there's more detailed conversation surrounding informal settlements. And, you know, let me just go back to the video. Let me go back to the video in this reaction. You know, let me go back to the video. Let's go back to the video, guys. Let's go back to the video. Andrew HOLNESS. What a wicked guy. What a wicked guy. Trust me. Mighty God. And I've been sent on to Like, isn't Senton that area in Senton, isn't that a JLP zone? Listen to this.
A squatter settlement in Mount Oliver St. Anne is on the brink of collapse this evening after several homes were demolished and dozens more slated for demolition. Now the residents are furious that the homes were destroyed despite the case being active in the court. While the St. Anne Municipal Corporation has intervened, the residents are urgently seeking a lifeline.
Valley Manor in Mount Oliver St. Anne. Over 60 homes built on about 300 acres of land overlooking Caribbean Sea. Prime real estate for the dozens of people who call this place home. But on Wednesday, June 10, the first sign that this community is no longer their safe haven. Melissa Forbes has been living in the area for over 22 years.
I never expect this. And the owner come and say, he is the rightful owner, which is no paper. Yesterday when him come, first time, I was seeing him first time for all these years.
The fact.
So, you guys think that the People's National Party would have allowed these people, some of them there for over 20 years, 2 decades, build structures like the one you're seeing on the screen right now, and even better, and he would have allowed some people to come demolish? It couldn't happen under the People's National Party. It could not happen. But election have consequences. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, the screws are being tightened and things are going to get worse under this government. You understand? We see what's going on with the deportee deal. Though the implication that has, the potential dangers is through the Earth atmosphere, ladies and gentlemen. But again, elections have consequences. Oh, by the way, all you people out there that didn't vote, that said, oh, this side is same as that side, and they didn't participate in the franchise, you contributed to what is happening right here, so right. Trust and believe. I hope you sleep good at night. I really do. I really do. I really do. My God. Hope you don't make that mistake ever again. Exercise a franchise, man. Be brave. Choose. Stop copying out talking about both sides are the same. Absolute rubbish. But this is what we get, yeah? Right. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on. Andrew HOLNESS. Yo, brother. Yo, God, I gotta deal with that, bro. Believe. And I tell you, God, I gotta deal with that, fam. Man, nothing wicked, so man. Man, nothing wicked, so bro. Tell them, man, nothing wicked. We don't know deal with it. True.
Residents told our newsroom that there was no prior notice of the demolition. 6 structures were brought down between Thursday and Friday by the National Land Agency.
Me see land agency come.
I just built a budgeting app with Base 44. Nina just built an app.
So we can all build apps now?
I'm on lunch.
I gotta make a call.
I'll be right back.
Just built an inventory tracker. Protein calculator.
Bookshare app.
Profesor de español.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News for Friday, June 19. I am Carrie Simpson. A special welcome to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Government under fire over third country national talks. Man involved in deadly St. Anne crash charged. And later in sports, CONCACAF team shine on day 8 of FIFA World Cup with 3 matches set for today. Thank you for joining us. Now the details. The government is on the defensive this afternoon after reported talks between former Jamaica ambassador to the U.S. Audrey Marks and discussions with U.S. officials about the now controversial third country national agreement. The Gleaner earlier this week quoted from a diplomatic note from the U.S. Embassy in Kingston, revealing that Marks made the proposal to U.S. official attached to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security during the America's Counter-Cartel Conference at the U.S. Southern Command in Miami, Florida on March 5, 2026. But in an interview with the government news agency JIS yesterday, Information Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon insists this was not the case.
There's a conflation of that with a discussion that would have happened with Minister Marks in relation to exploring skilled laborers coming to Jamaica. And as you know, we've been looking at nurses and doctors, for example, coming from the Philippines, also looking at Ghana, looking at other countries, Nigeria also. And so there was a conversation at one point about whether or not there was an opportunity around highly skilled persons. Now, that became conflated with TCN. And there was actually a lot of work, I'm told, that had to go into clarifying between the two countries that TCN is completely different from any kind of skilled workers program. And what would have been looked at is how can we maybe get some more skilled workers.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
You know, I appreciate what Ishmael did on his program earlier tonight. You guys definitely need to go check that out. Or if you've been watching, you heard me play it earlier. But still, make sure you go subscribe to Ishmael. Man, oh man, Lord have mercy. Let's continue.
To a TVJ News update, a man has been charged following last week's fatal crash in Ocheria St. Anne that claimed the police report and a utility pole, or rather was faced to the scene and carried out investigations before the body was removed for further examination. Now, the circumstances surrounding the death made a grim discovery this morning after stumbling upon a body along Wint Road. The body, believed to be that of a male, was face down in bushes beneath a metal grill on a property located between the Mandeville Infant School and Brooks Park about 8 a.m. The deceased was clad in black shorts and a red hoodie. His identity has not yet been established. Police responded to the scene and carried out investigations before the body was removed for further examination. Now, the circumstances surrounding the death remains unclear. Investigations are ongoing. The government says it is moving ahead with plans to make public lands available for legal acquisition by Jamaicans. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness made the announcement at a land titling ceremony for residents of Aki Walk and Jacksontown in St. Andrew. Antonia Atkinson has the details.
The announcement was made by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness during the Aki Walk and Jacksontown land titling ceremony, where 40 residents received certificates of title. The Prime Minister said public entities have been directed to identify land that can be released through a structured and competitive process aimed at expanding property ownership.
The ownership remains insecure. The law says possession is 9/10 of it. But not because you have it means that having it, you can't be dispossessed of it. And therefore we need to go the other 10% of it.
Dr. Holness underscored the importance of securing land ownership in protecting citizens' rights.
One, build an economy where everyone can have the means to acquire property. You can have a job, you can get education, you can create things, you can sell, you can develop new products, develop a company if you.
All you need are 2 taxi, Andrew. That's all the people you need. Just like you. Just 2 taxi. Yeah, just 2 taxi. Go into politics, have 2 taxi and go into politics. and then them can have the house on the hill like the mansion and the other properties them and the money. 2 taxi, Andrew. Tell the people I'm true. 2 taxi.
You want, you can make money.
Meanwhile, Minister with responsibility for land titling and settlement, Robert Montague, encouraged beneficiaries to protect their newly acquired assets and urged other Jamaicans to formalize their land holdings.
I want to say to the persons who are here to receive their titles, it is not a piece of paper you're getting. You're getting hope, you're getting opportunity, you're getting security, and you're getting something for dead left your children. Therefore, you must protect it, and you must encourage others to start the process as well. But you have some persons here in our country that are determined not to go through the legal route to acquire land, but to squat on government lands.
Anthony Atkinson, TVJ News.
There are.
On a year theme tone, but I this no vote for again, you know. I this no vote for again. I no vote for now. You see, you need to stop vote for party and vote for policy. Look at the circumstance. The majority of Jamaican people poor. Feel me I deal with how dear after what we went through in slavery. Somebody come tell you we say we are squat on this land. Eh? I left every single Jamaican supposed to own a piece of this rock. Blood spill for this. You never know. And them all want the government all want move or try to dispossess them around them for them land. You understand? I hope God protect them people and keep them strong and firm. You understand? To ward off the evil ones them. You see me? Because nobody feel away in Jamaica. They want their land there, you know. You see their land there? You know how probably they pan their land there? Hey. You know, Andrea start what it? Andrea Stevens.
There are growing concerns about the availability of onions on the local market as supplies begin to tighten. But Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says the situation is not unusual, noting that it reflects the natural cycle of production within the sector. Now, consumers may have noticed a decline in onions on shelves in recent weeks as the crop moves toward the end of its production season. Minister Green says the current shortage is part of what he describes as the fluctuation of the agriculture sector.
Early in the year, a lot of our farmers were complaining about the oversupply. You haven't heard those complaints anymore. I think a number of our farmers have been able to move their produce, and we're now coming to the end of our onion season. I think what is fair is to ensure that our farmers get the full breadth of the onion season. Once the onion season comes to an end, and we're winding up now, we will then look to external supplies, and then that will bring down some of the price until we go into our next onion season. But again, I think as consumers appreciate that they went through a period earlier this year that was significant oversupply, very, very low prices, and now it's a sort of leveling out.
The minister also pointed out that this pattern is not unique to onions, but common across multiple crops. He is urging consumers not to panic as the ministry works to monitor production cycles and work with farmers to maintain stability.
What about the people who have cold storage and all the onion them? And I wait till market reach scarcity and then dash them out so they're expensive. I want to talk about that.
In supply.
Until we do some of the things that we're trying to do this year, like in relation to onion, put in drying facilities in some of our high production zones, so that ultimately we will not have an oversupply, because we would store and then distribute over the period so that the price will be more moderate and will be more consistent.
Repairs to a section of the Mollison Road in Christiana, Manchester are expected to be completed by mid-July. Mayor of Mandeville, Donovan Mitchell, who gave that assurance, is asking residents and others who use the roadway to be patient.
This road, long time it don't fix. So, I appreciate what is going on now.
Manchester resident David commending the work to fix a massive breakaway on the Mollison Road in Christiana. The road was badly battered during the passage of Hurricane Melissa in October and finally gave way in April this year, reducing a section of it to single-lane traffic. During a recent tour of the roadwork with engineers, Mandeville Mayor Donovan Mitchell and Councillor for the Christiana Division O'Neill Bryan praised the pace of the rehabilitation so far, noting it should be completed in another month to month and a half.
Even though it's a commercial hub, it's a lot of farmers, and this road is a crucial road for the farming community. It extends to communities like Denham Farm, Devon goes back to Shudley, so it's really an arterial road in some respects. So the persons could not do without this road.
This road leads straight into the Christian hub, and as a matter of fact, it's a great farming community down below, so we are expecting to try and finish it early so that persons can traverse this area in no time, because otherwise they have to go another 10 kilometers or so around the road to get into Christiana town. And so we're just asking them to just see with us. We're just trying to get it ready for them.
The road is being repaired at a cost of about $20 million. Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
It is now time for a break, but do stay with us. More stories when we return.
Big up the mayor. You understand? Another era where the Jamaican people drop the ball. What? It is what it is. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man.
Local market as supplies begin to tighten. But Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says the situation is not unusual, noting that it reflects the
license to import cement as the government moves to address shortages affecting the construction sector and wider economy.
The study is expected to run through 2028 with its first roadmap due in 2027. And on the international scene, Arthur, the first named storm of the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season, has weakened, but its remnants are still triggering dangerous flooding and severe weather across the Gulf Coast. In Mississippi, residents were allowed to return home after officials lifted an evacuation order over fears of a dam failure. The storms have toppled trees, spawned tornadoes, and left a road crew member dead as recovery efforts continue. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Aliyah Bryant.
Thank you, Aliyah. We now head to a final break. When we come back, we'll have your Midday Sports Report.
Up first this evening, President Donald Trump's nominee for the United States, Ambassador to Jamaica Kari Lake, pledged to strengthen security cooperation with Kingston and push back against China's growing influence in the Caribbean if confirmed to the diplomatic post. She made the assertion Thursday at a confirmation hearing before the United States Senate Foreign Relations Committee.
Kari Lake is one step closer to becoming the U.S. ambassador to Jamaica. The former television journalist and close Donald Trump ally was grilled before the Senate committee on Thursday on a range of issues. She's promising to hit the ground running if confirmed. Among the issues at the top of her agenda, to create opportunities in Jamaica for American businesses, raising concern about China's growing influence in the country.
Right now, as we know, when we're competing with for a contract or a tender with the CCP or CCP-controlled company, oftentimes they'll underbid the United States. We want to make sure that we're working with Jamaica to make sure that there's a level playing field so that American businesses have a real shot to do great work. We know that we provide better quality work. We hire Jamaicans, and we want to make sure that we're assisting and also allowing for American companies to expand.
Another concern.
Right now, the Chinese have a massive stake in one of the key ports in Kingston. I think they have 49% control over it, and that puts us at risk. And so we need to rebalance things and work with the Jamaican government on that. There's massive concerns, not just from their strategy of taking a huge section of the port.
Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. My microphone was on. You guys must have been hearing some reverb. I'm so sorry. My apologies. Sorry about the echo, okay? That must wake up somebody for not sleep. Dang. Oh, guys, welcome. Just wanted to share this little thing. I just heard this lady speak out of her mouth for myself, and it's very different from reading the newspaper article. Let's listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Lord have mercy.
Up first this evening, President Donald Trump's nominee for the United States, Ambassador to Jamaica Kari Lake, pledged to strengthen security cooperation with Kingston and push back against China's growing influence in the Caribbean if confirmed to the diplomatic post. She made the assertion Thursday at a confirmation hearing before the United States Senate Foreign Relations Committee.
Kari Lake is one step closer to becoming the U.S. ambassador to Jamaica. The former television journalist and close Donald Trump ally was grilled before the Senate committee on Thursday on a range of issues. She's promising to hit the ground running if confirmed. Among the issues at the top of her agenda, to create opportunities in Jamaica for American businesses, raising concern about China's growing influence in the country.
Right.
Raising concern about China's growing influence in the country.
Emotional damage.
Is raising concern about China's growing influence in the country.
I'm dead.
Right now, as we know, when we're competing with for a contract or a tender with the CCP or the CCP-controlled company, oftentimes they'll underbid the United States. We want to make sure that we're working with Jamaica to make sure.
Jamaica, they say the administration are under pressure. External intervention. Let me go look for that piece of tape. Make she go and talk. Jamaica, let me slow it down. Make she talk. I don't want to do miss a beat. Listen to what the woman I say, oi.
Or a tender with the CCP or the CCP-controlled company, oftentimes they'll underbid the United States. We want to make sure that we're working with Jamaica to make sure that there's a level playing field so that American businesses have a real shot to do great work. We know that we provide better quality work. We hire Jamaicans, and we want to
We hire Jamaicans. All these Chinese coming into Jamaica, getting the jobs, getting the contracts. And I said, they're not hire Jamaicans, but what she mean? I want some more detail, miss. I would love to hear more detail on that. What do you mean you hire Jamaicans? You mean like 70% of the people on there would be in mixed positions, you know, based off their qualifications, top and, you know. What I see from the Chinese is quite different. The Chinese are the one that have the top positions. Just saying, just an observation. All I know is Andrew, kind of dark, sleeping with the dragon while the eagle is in the eagle's backyard. Hey, now. Oh, telling you, man. Be prepared, Jamaica. I hope Andrew is. Let's continue.
make sure that we're assisting and also allowing for American companies to expand.
Another concern.
Right now, the Chinese have a massive stake in one of the key ports in Kingston. I think they have a 49% control over it, and that puts us at risk. And so we need to.
National security issues. If you know anything about America, when they start to cite national security issues, you see the fangs. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, the eagles, that little part there when they come and just snatch you up. Yes. Let me play a tape about the eagle and the dragon in the meantime, just to emphasize what I mean.
Pertaining to the dragon. The dragon is not able to produce enough oil to satisfy all the dragon's needs. And on top of that, the dragon still needs to stockpile, okay? Unlike the bear has more than enough natural gas. So when they say the bear, meaning Russia, they have more than enough for themselves, more than enough. The truth is, they don't have to import it from anywhere or anyone, unlike the dragon. So Venezuela, that artery has been severed. in terms of oil supply to them, cheap. Now, Iran, that is being severed now. So those two major suppliers. So that's a major blow. The dragon is not going to take that lying down. It's almost like the arteries to your heart, in addition to the veins, are being ruptured. You see that they are being severed. What are you going to do? You know that you're going to die if you don't do something. So the dragon is really between the rock and a hard place right now and is going to be maneuvering. So we are going to have to keep our eyes on that situation, because we are not just going to sit back and just allow the eagle to be having its way doing all of these things. It will have to act at some point, or else be dead, economically or otherwise, and that's not going to happen. Certainly not now. So that is now going to make the landscape even more interesting and intriguing. So we got to be praying. Pertaining to the dragon, and we thank God we are seeing more and more church leaders speaking up about the 3 days. We are seeing an increase in that, and we're happy, because initially it was the impression that, oh, it is Shuttleworth's idea. Poor me. Huh? Me? My idea? Not my idea. So more and more, as I'm seeing others, men and women of God, waking up to the reality and also daring to listen, they are now coming forward and said it's 3 days. Yes, it is. And the Lord had made that clear some years now. And we will continue to say it, because that's what the Lord requires. Not some little prayer breakfast here and prayer breakfast there, or person saying, oh, we're going to be wearing black and we march. No, that's not what is required. What is required is that the nation of Jamaica must be locked down for 3 days. That is what is required. And then, as a nation, we will move the heart and the hand of God to extend mercy and to shift things and reset things in this island of Jamaica. Failing that, we will continue to see conditions deteriorating in Jamaica through different types of adversities, including cataclysmic ones, and also what is now looming is external intervention into the affairs of this nation, which will lead to forced resignation of political leaders, stepping down, yes, and also some of them being arrested publicly. That is looming, and I'm speaking prophetically as the Lord is showing, which would also tie into the prophecy of ruffling of feathers, plucking out of feathers, and clipping of wings. Yes. So if we don't repent, these are a number of things that are in the offing, and we will just see them unveiling or unfolding right before our very eyes. The frightening things about what is up ahead is that the Lord says, among the peoples who will suffer, and when we say people, meaning categories, will be the oligarchs, those so-called wealthy people. He will be targeting them with precision. He's going to mash them down. They're going to suffer big time. So with all of that which is in the pipeline, plus a number of different aspects of the judgment, that is, a screw is being tightened, right? It's being driven in, so to speak. So we are getting closer and closer and closer. And this is also the year of the screw. Many people don't know that, right? The year of the nail. Vav means nail. It means screw. It means hook. Remember I tell you, it means so much. So when you hear us using these terminologies, we are not picking things up and just talking for the sake of talking. The screw is being driven in. We also, on top of that, have to brace ourselves for external intervention. I'm saying it that way because we obviously don't necessarily want to cause any wide-scale panic or any panic whatsoever. But prophetically, we are seeing external intervention, and it will come in different ways. I could say more, but I'm not. So these are things that we are praying through. Remember, not everything that is revealed we can share on air, but also external intervention. Remember also the prophetic word, ruffling of feathers, plucking out of feathers, clipping of wings. That's going to also, that is playing itself out and it's going to manifest. Matters having to do with visa and all sorts of stuff. So we ain't seen anything yet. Let me take it further. Do you see what Lady Diana is to come on shortly? She'll be giving us the roundup in terms of US and other international things. And then when she's finished, I'll be more pointed. But let me just mention this. Do you see what is happening to oil prices? Do you see what is happening to international stock markets? So all those who have been talking about, oh, with this, oh, the economy is this and what, and we have been saying to persons, this island, not just the island of Jamaica, the world is under judgment, yes, but we are focusing particularly on Jamaica because the fact of the matter is, Jamaica should have been one of the most prosperous of places on earth if leaders, those who have been given the responsibility to have been leading the nation, if we were leading in righteousness, Jamaica by this point, our 60-odd birthday, right? We're approaching our 64th birthday soon, in a few months from now. This island of Jamaica should have been one of the safest and most prosperous of the nations in the Caribbean, the islands in the Caribbean, and certainly in the world. But alas, political administration after political administration, we have leaders who have turned away from God. And with turning away from God, look at the result. Corruption taking over the nation like a cancer, and all the other maladies and vices. So the time has come when the Lord is saying enough is enough, because 2027 is pivotal for Jamaica. So there are certain things that must happen this 2026. And remember, it was on the 6th day that creation ended. The cycle of creation ended. It was on the 6th day that man was created by God. Many people don't realize. So that is why 6 means a cycle, end of cycle. It also speaks to the human cycle. It also speaks to imperfections. Yeah? It also speaks to connection. It is also the number of man. That's why the Antichrist has latched onto it. Satan has latched onto it. And remember, we're going to be doing a teaching on it. Because 666 is Vav, Vav, Vav. That's what it is. What does that mean? We look at it. So we're at a crucial place and a crucial point. So if we think things are going to be pretty, the only way things will settle and be better as we go deeper into the year is if the nation repents. But if we don't repent, it's going to become increasingly worse. The screws are being tightened, friends. But the remnant does not have to worry. Remember, we continue the 40 days fast. We are now at day 20, the 4th week. Remember, the cycle is now 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
So, ladies and gentlemen, so when I screw them a tight, yeah.
Ports in Kingston, I think they have a 49% control over it, and that puts us at risk. And so we need to rebalance things and work with the Jamaican government on that. There's massive concerns, not just from their strategy of taking a huge section of the ports, but also when you look at the 5G and the telecom, with Huawei expanding, it's very concerning what could happen. You know, there's always strings attached with China, and the question is, do you want all of the information going through Huawei, where you all of a sudden would have that information being trickled back to the CCP and China?
On the issue of crime and
Jamaica, only hear that? The man them have problem with China telecommunications. When me say, it's going to be a bangarang. A national security issue them, you know? They not trust China, you know? Oh, look, can't stay there. Hey, let's continue.
Violence, she's being
The information going through Huawei, where you all of a sudden would have that information being trickled back to the CCP and China.
On the issue of crime and violence, she's promising to work closely with local law enforcement as the US and Jamaica continue to strengthen ties to curb the illegal drug trade and lottery scamming. Janella Precious, TVJ News.
Screws are being tightened, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, alright? Like, share, and subscribe. Ooh-wee! Lord have mercy. Carly, you're still here? Who is still here? If you're still awake, put a 1 in the chat. Even if you're asleep, pick up yourself when you wake up and you realize you watch back and say, oh, I fall asleep. Fall asleep, I watch Bolo, you know. And if you fall asleep, I watch me. I'll tell you. But if you're still up, put a 1 in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Put a 1 in the chat. No joke. Put a 1 in the chat. Everyone go. Let me see. Where is we have a say? Oh, damn, it's a lot. Look at the going to Jamaica now. What time now? 2:26. No, man, never skim through them quick. No more recording. You see what I'm going to skim through them quick and see what everybody else do. Except Laura. Big up Laura.
The Jamaica Civil Servants Association, JCSA, is putting its members on guard for a showdown with the government if it's failed to settle outstanding salary and other issues. The JCSA president gave the alert while addressing an awards ceremony for JCSA members in Manchester on Thursday. Krista Campbell has the details.
Patiently waiting from 2024. That declaration from President of the Jamaica Civil Servants Association, JCSA, Tisha Clark-Griffiths, regarding salary and other benefits negotiations with the government. But almost a year and a half later, at an awards ceremony to honor long-serving civil servants in Manchester on Thursday, this announcement from the JCSA president.
We have been 14 months outstanding in terms of having the government settle on our claim. So I'm asking that we get ourselves ready for a showdown between the Civil Service Association and the government of Jamaica. The fight continues, and we will definitely triumph.
For her part, Mrs. Clark-Griffiths stressed the importance of recognizing and honoring public servants for the critical work they do for the country.
The service to our schools, hospitals, libraries, ministries, agencies, departments, and communities, helping to improve the lives and support of national development. Every birth certificate, every marriage certificate, death certificate, driver's license.
And according to her, the militant stance from public sector workers should not come as a surprise to the government.
We have not had an opportunity to conclude our negotiation as a union. In addition, we have had the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions who have made an offer, a counter offer to the government of Jamaica. We're 14 months out of the negotiating period, which means that the public servants of Jamaica is owed 14 months retroactive payment in salaries. We are demanding that they conclude the negotiations so that the members can receive their increase in salaries.
She noted that any...
So Dirty Andrew, they get their retroactive, but there are people that even get for their money yet. Mighty God.
Discourse on productivity should take into account improvements to the welfare and well-being of public servants whose work helped drive productivity in Jamaica. And so,
the JCSA, along with the Confederation, would have indicated to the government that we are not going to wait any longer to have our matters addressed. And not only on the salaries, but other items of claim that is before the government of Jamaica, including our concession. So there's a lot of things that we want to conclude on, but the government is moving very slowly. And ironically, they are the one who speaks about productivity, but we are not seeing that on the other side of the government service.
Not have time right now, but Miss, thank you.
16 civil servants were awarded for 16 to 25 years of public service and a special citation awarded to the JCSA president at Thursday's awards ceremony. Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
A squatter settlement in Mount Oliver St. Anne is on the brink of collapse this evening after several homes were demolished and dozens more slated for demolition. Now the residents are furious that the homes were destroyed despite the case. Still on land-related issues, residents of the Aki Walk and the Jacksontown communities in St. Andrew are among the latest beneficiaries of the government's land titling program as the administration moves ahead with plans to make public lands available. Questions continue to swirl over the expected arrival of third country nationals to Jamaica under a deal with the United States.
Hey, people, we go over them there already. Thank God. Listen me. Bless up on yourself. The word is love. Yeah, really powerful to see you. Thank you guys for your continued support. See you guys later, man. All right, my people. Out. That is it. We come more here. I'm not going to do no marathon tonight. I left it right there. I need to go do somewhere. Just want to free up. You understand? Free up. Look come on.